Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark. Today is March 18th, 2022. It's Friday night. Do you know where your movie talk is? It's right fucking here. HWAD Squad represent today. 1 year anniversary. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Oh my God, was it a big success? Was the trending event worth it? Is it coming back? All this and more. We're going to be talking about that here tonight. Hollywood After Dark, folks. Let's fucking go. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. It is, of course, Hollywood After Dark. Sorry I missed last night. I was tired. My kid was not feeling well. I was just exhausted. Daylight savings has fucked me up. I mean, like, never before in my life has daylight savings ever messed me up. Like, whatever the hell this last week is. And so this whole governmental thing of going like, hey, we're going to get rid of it. I'm like, cool, just get rid of it now. And they're like, it's going to take a year. Of course, because it's the government, but still, just get rid of it now. It's fine. But anyway. Had to take the night off, had to get a little bit of sleep, but I'm back today, slightly more rejuvenated, slightly more energized. Kid is still sick. It's a cold. I'm hoping it's a cold. Hopefully she'll sleep through the night because I've got a big day tomorrow in Seattle I got to get to, and I'm hoping I can go. If she's still sick, I can't go. It's just, I'm a little bit worried about, it's not COVID. It's like a cold. You know how it is, kids, right? Kids, you go to school and they're around other kids. And they're they don't wash their hands and little germ-soaked little bastards. Sure, they look nice on the outside, but they're all disease-ridden, except for mine. My child is immaculately clean. Probably because I'm a bit of a germaphobe. But anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about, let me get some of the quick shilling out of the way. The stuff I got to do to pay the bills, because you guys know I love you, but I also rely on you, because that's how this job works. Anyway, we're going to talk about patio commentary. My discussion review / whatever you want to call it podcast, youtube.com/patio commentary. Also, wherever you might get your podcasts, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Look out, Joe Rogan. I'm nowhere near as popular by a long shot, but still, guys, you can get it over there. And of course, this week when I get around to it, probably won't be till early next week. I'm a little bit behind. The Atom Project. I did just watch this movie today. I absolutely adored it. I thought it was amazing. Can't wait to talk about it. Going to be diving on into that this weekend. If you haven't seen Atom Project, check it out. If you want to hear my thoughts, that will be coming very soon. youtube.com/patio commentary. Best place to get in on that action if you don't want to dive in to any of the iTunes type stuff. Anyway, if you want to support the channel directly, you can always do that with patreon.com/Matt Jarbo. It is a good way to get around that pesky 30% that YouTube takes. Patreon.com/Matt Jarbo. There will be exclusives because if you become a patron or you join a channel membership, aka Hollywood After Dark Premium, I know. What is this? Hollywood After Dark Premium is going to get you access to Hollywood After Dark, which is going to be the post show, where it's mostly a hangout. We talk about other stuff you guys want to talk about, maybe we didn't get to in the show. Hollywood After Dark, After Dark. Yes, HWAD After Dark, HWAD AD. We'll come up with a name for it, but there's that. So keep that in mind. Become a channel member, join the Patreon, Hollywood After Dark, as well as screening movies and shows and things like that. A lot of good stuff to watch. Anyway, guys, why don't we dive in to the subject matter of the day? Why don't we get into it? Why don't we have ourselves a situation where we laugh at some stuff and get me canceled? Because, oh my God, have I been probably canceled 8 times today? But Caden is joining me tonight, guys. Mr. Caden.
What's up?
Man, what a day it's been.
What did it?
Sounds like it's another language. It sounds like it's going to get me in a lot of trouble to say that. Like, don't say it while clearing your throat in an airport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
That's going to get me canceled. Oh, Jesus Christ. I've had caffeine tonight, folks. It's been a long day dealing with my kids. My daughter's like, I want to watch Barbie Roberts because we've been watching, she's 4. She likes the Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures. It's not a bad show. I pimped out Boss Baby. I'm going to pimp out Barbie's Dreamhouse Adventures.
Isn't that the one with on Netflix right now? Or whatever.
Yeah, well, there's a couple. There's a couple ones, right? There's like the
Right.
older Barbie shows that are way more vapid. You
Right.
know, they're way vapid. They're like you. It's like, oh
Are
my
you?
god.
Because my younger siblings watched this one where like it's like Raquel. I only remember because of like people are speculating on the Barbie movie,
Oh
that
yeah.
stuff. So that
Who's gonna be? I know. I don't know. This
who's gonna be
Margot.
who in that movie and stuff.
I said this today on Twitter. I said they should model it after the Netflix Barbie Dreamhouse Adventure show.
They
Right?
should.
They should.
They
And
should.
I'll
And
tell
make
you
it
what.
more adult. Make it more
Oh,
adult. And be like,
absolutely,
hey.
absolutely. All
And
those girls are
then
high
your
school
kids can
kids.
watch
Yeah.
the Netflix one, and then the
You're,
parents and young adults can go in the theater.
you're
And
all
watch
like, you're all like Barbie's Dreamhouse Adventures after dark. This is, yeah, yeah. By day, she's an average college student. By night, a bullwhip cracking dominatrix.
right.
Get your fap on. I don't know, man. I mean, it's like, no, the show was interesting. Like it's got like, like it's like Barbie and her whole family, and like they're all like, they deal with their trials and tribulations as like these teenagers do, but they do it, with
Yeah.
with gumption and a smile on their face. And it's actually a
Like,
pretty interesting
and they
show.
have no parents.
No, Barbie has parents. Barbie's parents are there, right?
They
And
are.
like Barbie's parents are there. Mom and Pa Roberts. I forget their names, but
Oh,
it's like you watch them, and I'll tell you this. I look for this when I watch kids shows now. Because I have to find something that's relatable for me. Otherwise, I just want to like blow my head off, right?
right.
So I'm watching Barbie. I'm watching Boss Baby. I'm watching Bluey. Right. I love Bluey, by the way. Just in general, that show I actually really like. But I love the relationship between the mom and the dad. And I'm watching that, and I'm just like, I guarantee you they have a really healthy sex life. Well, hear me out there, right? It's a kid show, but like parents fuck. That's how kids came to be. We know this, right? That's how kids came
They
into the world.
do?
That's
I
where this.
thought,
Yeah,
I thought you laid an egg.
I mean, well, technically they do lay an egg, but it's just
Yeah.
internal,
Yeah.
And it's like then of course millions of sperm fly through the uterus like they're hitting light speed, and then like into an asteroid field where there's only one asteroid and then only one gets in. It's very weird science and anatomy. But anyway, if parents, I think if the relationship that the kids have with the parents is one thing in these shows, but another thing I look for is like how the parents interact with each other. Like when you watch American sitcom television, right? There's generally like the concept of like, or the popularization of, let's say, dysfunctional families. I'd argue that like Roseanne was a prime, and I love Roseanne, but Roseanne was a prime example of like the modernization of dysfunctional families. It popularized it. It made it okay because everyone's family is pretty dysfunctional. I think we can all argue at this point. It's pretty dysfunctional.
Every family's
right?
perfect.
Well, no, because you watch
But-
things like Full House. Full House is like it's a very functional family. They overcome their problems. They work together. Blah 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 blah. But then you get to Roseanne, and you're like, Dan gets pissed off, and he punches a hole in the wall and shit. And like Darlene's stealing shit, and like Becky's just a big old whore.
And Roseanne's just tweeting out stuff.
Yeah, well, that was on Ambien. God. Can I use that excuse for when I say dumb things on Twitter? Actually, I'll tell you this. I have, I guess you could call it a get out of jail free card, right?
Right.
I say in my Twitter profile says incredibly dumb things.
And also
So-
your intro says I say inappropriate things.
I say
So-
exactly. I say inappropriate things. And so what happens is when like I do
trigger
that and
word.
people get mad at me, they go and they see that and they go, "Oh, see, he just confirms it." I'm like, you guys know it's like that's like a smokescreen, right? like I know like that's a fucking smoke. I just say it to be like it's there as like a deflection. It's really weird. Like, and people go to it like a moth to flame. It's the weirdest shit on the planet because it's like you're just laughing your ass off at these people who get really mad. But anyway, so I really do think that on Bluey, like the parents have really good sex life. I think on like Boss Baby, the parents have probably a fairly adventurous sex life, given the
Probably.
imagination of their child. They
Yeah.
probably figure it out and stuff
Both
like
of
that.
their childs.
Yeah, like I'm not saying like we need to like, explicitly see the parents engaging in this kind of activity, but what I mean is like, it's like no, it's like the parents having those kind of relationships I think are nice. I think it's good. I think it shows a functional family. You know, although here's the thing. Have you ever seen Big Hero 6?
Yes.
Like, I love that show and that movie, right? But let me
Yeah.
ask you this, like, because you know, like Honey Lemon is pretty empathetic, right?
Honey Lemon's the one with
Like
the
the
yellow
yellow.
suit.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
super like
Yeah.
Honey Lemon strikes me as the kind of person that you could just say like you're having a really bad day and she'd be like, "You want me to give you a hand job?" Like, just it wouldn't mean anything to her. But she would just do it out of like the
Yeah,
kindness
you
of
know
her
what?
heart.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I
you
could.
could
Yeah.
totally see her doing that. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm not saying
No,
like
like
dole out more hand
no,
jobs,
but
but I mean,
you know what? I
yeah,
can definitely see that now.
you're just like, I'm just having a bad day. She's like, well, you know, handy dandy. Like,
Right.
okay, right. And then you're like, but why'd you kiss me on the mouth afterward? That was kind of weird. Um, that's actually a gag from an old show from like a long time ago. I forget the hell what it was called, but like this guy gets kicked in the nuts, and the doctor's like, "Well, we got to make sure you can get, you can get an erection." And so like his hands were broken. He couldn't do anything. And so like his friend who's going to medical school, she ends up giving him a hand job in the hospital just to make sure that his dick still worked.
Oh,
And he's like, "Hey, thank you, but why did you kiss me on the mouth at the end?" Like it was just this random line. Anyway, so WC here says Married to Children was before Roseanne. That's true. It was very much was before Roseanne. But the Peg, they had a dysfunctional family, but it's not a realistic dysfunctional family. That's the difference between Married to Children and Roseanne. All right, like
mm,
that's the difference between Married to Children and Roseanne. Because when you look at Married to Children, it doesn't come across as feeling realistic, right? How can Al Bundy, a man in his 40s, afford to pay the rent or pay the mortgage on a house, support his stay-at-home wife who has a QVC shopping habit, and his two delinquent children who can't hold down jobs on a
oh,
woman's shoe store salary salesman salary?
oh,
You know what?
what?
Right?
That's so unrealistic.
It is unrealistic, but you go to Roseanne and they're in a small town, and like Dan isn't, he's a contractor. He's an independent contractor. They're always kind of worried about money. Roseanne, like, jobs come and go through the city. When the show first starts, she's working at a plant on a processing line with Jackie and Crystal and other people and whatnot. And then like the plant closes down and she ends up going to work at the restaurant in the mall. And then after that, she ends up opening her own restaurant, and think Jackie was like becomes a cop and then becomes works at the restaurant and then becomes a trucker. You know what I mean? Like the characters have these evolutions over the course of the seasons. That is
Yeah.
until they get to the last season of Roseanne and then they win the fucking lottery for $125 million. And then you're like, what? Wait, what? And then Dan cheats on Roseanne. That makes like no sense. The
I
last
agree.
season of Roseanne is god awful. It's god awful.
Well,
Except
as Lord Slug says, Al Bundy can be drug dealing on the side. That can be the case. I
Well,
able to.
Rodney P does say Al Bundy, the greatest high school football player of all time, 4 touchdowns in a single game. Polk high. Goddamn right. Um,
He,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
he was
Taylor
drug
here
dealing.
says friends level financial realism. That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
that's yeah.
Friends level financial
Taylor.
realism. Yeah, that's the thing. Jesus, guys. That kind of that kinda cracks me the hell
It's
up. There's just like,
really weird with some of these shows, man.
well, that's the thing. Like, yeah. You're like, how the
They set unrealistic expectations, like for like living with your friends, and
Yeah,
like
I lived with my friend and my girlfriend, and we're like, okay, so our rent is $12.75 for a 2 bedroom apartment. We split it evenly. Like even though my friend got a full room for $4.25 a month, you know, we still split everything because we were being fair. And it's like, okay, so it's $4.25 a month, and then it's and I was making $9 an hour at my job. $4.25, like I would pay my rent on literally one paycheck, you know?
yeah,
And it's like, and then I'd like my car insurance, my cell phone,
like 2 days.
Netflix, Xbox, whatever, all that stuff would like, I'd have to like really kind of make it work and everything else. But thankfully it's LA and you know how it is. Like you don't have to pay to go see movies if you know what you're doing in Los Angeles.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, and I knew I lived down the street from the TV Academy, and they would do weekly screenings of movies. And my friend who'd just moved up from San Diego as well was a lifetime member, so I would just walk down the street and meet him there. We go see movies all the time.
That's a good way to do it.
So, okay, according to Spherical Man here, it says Monica's apartment was still under her grandmother's name and was rent controlled. That's how they explain that bit away.
Oh dear God,
Eh,
that's still
eh.
unrealistic.
Yeah,
Because
well, what about Kramer in Seinfeld? He
yeah,
never had a job, you know?
he didn't have a job,
Never
and
had a
yet he
job.
was still able to pay off his rent.
Yeah, I mean, like I think that was rent controlled though. I think because there was a bit about that in
Yeah,
the show as well. The
I'm sure.
'90s, man,
I mean,
really interesting time.
it's really, yeah, like you said, 90s and some of those unrealistic expectations that they set when you go on and be an adult and live in your own place.
Yeah, yeah. I think back on it now. So today, for example, I was looking through my Facebook time hop, and I saw a post from 2010, and I was like, it was right after I moved to LA. I'd been there for like 11 days at that point, and I was like, this is the place for me. I had that honeymoon glow, like I went to a party like in WeHo, and like I met the guy who wrote Final Destination. In fact, we're still friends on Facebook. Jeffrey Reddick is his name. And I like, all this stuff. And like, I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And then 12 years later, I'm like, I live in the woods in Washington. I've got 2 kids and I haven't written a script in like a decade. Shit. Like I got to get back into the game somehow, man. But it's like, yeah, that's kind of how all this goes. Let's see here. Jedi Chicago says my lease is ending in May. I need to find a new place. Not looking forward to it. Oh, dude, I don't envy you on that one, man. I don't envy you at all right now.
Mhm.
Um,
Well,
it-
apparently Kramer was pretty rich. So,
he was rich.
yeah. So he was able to live in a rent
Isn't that how
control.
they just always explain it away, right? They make all these characters really,
Again,
uh,
it sets high expectations for people.
yeah. It's like
They're like,
look at
you have
the
to
it's
be
like
really
the
rich to live in a rent-controlled apartment, so
yeah.
you don't have to have a job.
So or look at Full House, right? The houses that like that block of houses that was
Yeah.
popularized in Full House. I mean, I think those houses are going now for like 2.5 million
Yeah,
or
like the
something
thing
like
is,
that.
like it's the thing about and the crazy thing is in San Francisco, and especially in the area, if you this certain like uh you know prices, especially in certain areas, especially if you're across the street from a park and on the hill, I'm sure it's pretty expensive because you're across the street from a park, so it's easy access.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I mean, like, when I lived in North Hollywood, we were right next to a real nice park.
yeah,
What cracked me up the most though was this is absolutely true. For research purposes, this is how I'm going to be starting off this story. For research purposes, I happen to be kind of thumbing through Pornhub. I forget what I was looking for specifically, but it was definitely research purposes. And I'm looking through there and I come across this one video and it's shot in the park across the street. Right? Like the opening of it, I'm just like, hey,
oh dear
there's the
God.
YMCA I go to all the time. There's the park. Because here's the
It's
thing
like
with here,
there's a famous location if you're on that site.
yeah, right. It's well, I mean, it started off there, and then they went back to their apartment in Chatsworth
Oh,
because that's a hop, skip, and a fart away. Because look, all those movies are all shot in Chatsworth, and
right.
Chatsworth is like the far end of the valley. No, nothing good ever comes from there. No one will ever talk about that place with like with any kind of like bravado. It's just like, oh, it's Chatsworth. It's nowhere near the ocean, yet magically smells like you're right there.
Right.
It's kind of how, but anyway,
Movie magic
yeah,
in all forms,
movie.
in all
Yeah.
forms of movie making.
There's it's like it just got me thinking about this thing today. This is totally unrelated, but this is gonna end up probably being like a movie. I think at some point, because look, eventually we're gonna get to a point where when it comes to what's the word I want to use here? When it comes to adapting stories, right? When it comes to adapting stories, one of the things that we are definitely going to see is where these stories come from. And, I think we're going to get a fair amount of it from Reddit, right?
Oh God.
There's been a couple attempts
There's
at at
there was
at Reddit for a while, but here's what did you see this one pop up today? It's been shared around quite a bit. This is gonna be a weird movie, right? This is gonna be a very dark independent film.
no, but there was another confession story that I was like, what? Like it was like twist after twist after twist. I was like, oh, okay. So basically, this couple was married, and they move, they visit their family, and they're and so uh, they're about to get married actually, or their fiancés or whatever. And so she has a bachelorette party, and she goes to her bachelorette party, and then comes back home, finds out that her fiance um, is sleeping with her mom, and found out that he has been sleeping with her mom for quite some time, and to find out that her brothers, her two youngest brothers, may be his, and and then
Is that a confession?
and
Like, did she kill him?
I don't know what the confession was, but it was just like, I think it was like that, or that she uh hasn't I don't know what the confession was, but it was a really weird story to be on the confession.
I think a lot of these are made up on our confessions. I do, right? It's like
Yeah.
am I the asshole? I think they're made up there too. But
Oh, right.
here's one that's making its way around today, from Femme Clown Lover, because that's a legitimate throwaway handle. Saying here, I'm so desperate to have sex with a female clown, I can't take it. More than anything, I just want a beautiful woman with a clown costume, makeup, and a big red nose to have sweaty, passionate sex with. I want her to lay on my bed, take off her big shoes, and let me suck and lick her toes while jerking myself off while she blows up condoms and makes them into balloon animals. Then I want her to take off her clown pants and clown underwear and start pulling several feet of colored scarves out of her pussy.
What the heck?
Once the scarves are out, I want to enter her, fuck her as she honks her big red nose in time to my thrusts. Honk, honk, honk. I want her to do the clown laugh and spray me with a squirt gun, or squirt flower, actually, as I come. I don't know why I have this fantasy, but I do, and it's killing me. I want clown pussy so bad it hurts. I could just see this being like a Showtime show, right? Especially
Right.
with this corresponding image here. That's why I tied it into the movie talk.
This was, hold on, I'm trying to find that really weird story that I just said.
Okay, just link it into the chat.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, all I'm saying here is when you get into these kind of things, like any of this stuff could ultimately end up being like a movie, is what I'm trying to say. That's kind of like why things on the internet are as crazy as they are. So before we get into the main topic today, because there's been a couple, I think people from some of the Snyder fandoms watching. Don't worry, we'll make fun of you a little bit. And but let's talk quickly about this. I saw this pop up real quick. So Christopher Lloyd has now apparently joined the cast of The Mandalorian season 3. Great Scott! I'm actually really excited about this. I don't know what he's going to be doing, but it's entirely possible he could be the Mythosaur. I don't know. I think at this point they're like, the great thing about The Mandalorian is that it's not like bringing in the kind of actors you might think. You know what I mean? Like, like sure, you
Yeah.
had Michael Biehn pop up in season 2, and he had roles in the '80s. Obviously, Kyle Reese. Obviously, Hicks in Aliens and stuff.
Yeah.
Him and James Cameron. But you had like Hector, no, sorry, Horatio Sands, right? Pop up in season 1 and season 2. Brian Pashurn pop up in the first chapter. You had Amy Sedaris pop up multiple times season 1, season 2, and Book of Boba Fett, and I love Amy Sedaris in that role. You've had like like different comedians pop up in these little roles and stuff. And that's actually really cool because it shows you that they're trying to kind of branch out. Look at Bill Burr, for example. You would not expect Bill Burr, Miggs Mayfeld, to come on in and literally be like the coolest character in that show, even in some aspects outshining Mando.
Oh,
I mean,
here I found it.
so okay, so also Marcus here wants to remind me that Michael Biehn was also in Tombstone. Here's the thing with this: I've actually like never seen Tombstone. I need to see it. Because I know that it's basically directed by Kurt Russell. That's the story, is that he shadow directed it. But anyway, look, Christopher Lloyd, I'm hoping they allow him to really kind of dive into something that is going to be meaty, something that's going to be really beefy. That's what I want to see out of this stuff now. Like, I really want to like dive into the characterizations, because I think that's a big part of a lot of this stuff, a lot of why it works. Also, because it's so popular that there's most likely going to be, anyone and their mother would jump at this, right? Like, if I got a random phone call from like Filoni or Favreau and they're like, "Hey, we're a big fan of the way you talk on that YouTube channel. Would you like to come be a voice on or do something with this?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'll fly myself down there." Like, what do you want me to do?
The question is what will Christopher Lloyd be doing in this show?
I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping it's nothing campy. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I like, Amy Sedaris' character was a bit campy in chapter 5. But the more time you spend with her, the more time you grow to like her, especially the Return of the Mandalorian, where she got a lot more screen time and you got to spend more time with the character and you learned more about her. And I think it kind of like worked with her a bit, even like Horatio Sands popping up in season 2 of Mando, where he helps him break into the, to the Imperial facility and whatnot.
Right.
It's like,
he wasn't he also in season 1?
yeah, he was in like the cold open of
Right.
of Mando chapter 1. So it's like, bringing him in, bringing them back, and like building out the characters in this world. You can tell that they're really trying to establish like a lived-in universe here, and that's the thing I really enjoy. I still think Book of Boba Fett was, I don't want to say a bit of a letdown. It did not live up to all of my expectations, but when it was firing on all cylinders, man, it was firing on all cylinders. It was great stuff. So HWAD here says Matt voices Watto. There you go. I'll be your Huckleberry, Nicholas, huh? For a few Imperial credits, I will be your Huckleberry. Do you know what that actually means, by the way? Right? I'll be your Huckleberry is basically, it's like Hucklebearer, right? It's not Huckleberry, but it's like, it's your pallbearer. It's your pallbearer. Like when you die and you're being, the funeral, like, I'll be your pallbearer is effectively what that means.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, Caster here says Book of Boba Fett sucks so bad, never finished it. Yeah, you're missing out, dude. That season finale had some good shit. I will fully say. Like,
but I'm disappointed at one thing. But
there's some.
We are both disappointed at the same thing, I think.
Yeah, there's some stuff there that I got disappointed at 100%, and that's unfortunate because I mean I need to go back and watch it again, like just kind of sit down and watch it all the way through. I think that's going to ultimately be like the better move, for a lot of this stuff. Another thing here too. Oh, okay. I wanted to quickly touch upon this one. So, big news of the day, right? Same-sex kiss that had been previously cut from Lightyear has now been reinstated into the film after backlash from Pixar employees about Chapek's handling of the Don't Say Gay bill. So, I mean, like, cool.
To be honest, I wish, I'm happy that it's reinstated, but I honestly would have been better off if they just did not announce that they're keeping it or whatever,
Yeah, because then it sounds like it's pandering.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like if you're like, like I know it's not Disney announcing this and stuff. It's Variety. I'm just like, okay, cool. Like we didn't need to know it was cut in the first place. Um, but
I think there was a story that it was cut. I think that came out last week.
okay. So
I heard something about that. I forget where. Maybe it's internet speculation.
maybe,
Sometimes it's hard to
but
tell. You know,
yeah,
sometimes it's really hard to
no,
tell.
exactly.
I will say this though. My question then becomes: is this still going to be cut for international releases? Because let's be fair, it's going to be cut for international releases.
It's gonna be cut in Russia. It's gonna be cut in China. It's gonna be cut in the Middle East.
That's if we're doing business with Russia at that point in time.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know. All
yeah.
depends. But China, they're
China
going to
and
cut
Middle
it.
East.
Saudi Arabia, they're going to cut
Yeah,
it. You know, Middle East, Africa, middle parts of Africa, they're going to cut it.
yeah.
You know, I mean, like there's a lot of places where they're going to end up cutting that out. They're going to be cutting out you know, and so that's my whole thing of like,
And people are like, "Oh, why can't Disney do something about that?" Disney's a corporation. Like, even though like we've seen before that they got into politics, but they're not going to get into politics, international politics. They're only going to get to their own hometown, home base politics. Like, they ain't
I
going
don't even
to.
think they should get into, I don't even think they should
Yeah,
get into fucking politics like locally. Like, I mean, like,
that's the thing with this whole thing. I was like, I don't like the only thing that like if it's like life threatening and like life changing, then yeah, sure, whatever. Like if
yeah,
it affects your audience, then yeah, handle it. But
yeah,
honestly, like other
I
than
think
that,
other
then
than
no.
that, it's like, what did you want Disney to do with Florida? You know, like they're like, Disney could have stopped it. Could they? Like,
Yeah,
have you
they're
seen how like primordial Florida is becoming?
like
You
the
know,
thing is,
like,
it's on and honestly, it wasn't surprising that they passed that bill, especially with the past couple of years, how they've been looking. So it was just like, okay, it wasn't surprising. The only thing that was surprising was the fact that like the none of this actually was surprising, honestly, actually, to be completely honest.
no, there's a lot of, you know, I mean, I'm not, yeah, every time I hear something about Florida, I'm just like, well,
It's Florida.
that's, that's
What do you
kind of,
expect? It's Atlantis, basically.
yeah,
It's going to
uh,
be in
it
like
kind of,
10 years. Like, what? Like, in 10 years, Florida's not going to be here. If we,
oh yeah. Well, I
15, or
mean,
whatever the rate is at this point.
we can only really hope, I think, right? So,
Jeez. It's a cesspool of just nonsense.
oh, I think,
Whatever happened to Florida, I think
no,
water
no, I
level.
made the mistake. I made the mistake. I thought I had linked to the stream on Twitter,
Oh.
and I had the link Saggy gave me, and so when you click on the link, it says this video is removed for violating YouTube's policy on harassment. Like here, I'll show you guys. I'm not even making this up. Look. So it's like I like to troll the Snyder fandom, obviously, and I linked the wrong video. And so they're gonna think like, that's you got, you know, even though it's very not the case as to what's going on there. I thought that was pretty good. That was pretty funny. What's the other thing too here? What was it? There. Okay, so we know Scream 6 is going to be coming next year.
Yeah, March
Um,
31st.
March 31st. I still need to see the new one,
Oh,
which I haven't seen yet. I want to.
yeah.
So there's that. And
I mean,
but I do love the
the other,
Scream movies. So
yeah, the other day, I was gonna say Gail Weathers. Courtney Cox said that she got the script and she's gonna film in November. No,
yeah.
November, June. Jeez, I'm getting a bunch of dates mixed up in
Well,
names.
she could obviously film in November. It wouldn't really matter. I
Yeah,
mean, there's not a lot
I
of
mean,
visual effects in this that aren't
yeah,
practical.
right.
So
Um,
yeah, I mean, I
it's
don't
not
know.
like it has 25,000 visual effect shots or
Yeah, it's not
anything.
like the Flash.
Right.
You know,
It's
like we
very
got
it's like I think the only visual effects that they have is the TVs and the phones that they need to like digitally add someone into the screen or something.
that's not even that bad. That's
Yeah.
not even that bad.
No, it's not. So
So yeah, I mean, but hey, the fact is, like, it's done well enough to warrant getting another sequel that they're quickly and rapidly putting together.
I
I
mean,
think they're going to do a trilogy, if you want my honest opinion.
I heard they started casting last December, even before the film came out.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, what was the budget on this movie?
I think it was 75 million.
Wait, Scream had a budget of 75 million?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
24 million, man.
Oh, 24? Oh,
I'm like,
I was
what are you
like,
talking about? 75 million? Maybe it
oh,
made 75 million dollars.
yeah, maybe.
No,
So
so
it's
January
24.
30th, it crossed 100 million worldwide.
Okay. I
Okay,
don't know where I'm
yeah,
getting these numbers and things from.
yeah.
Um,
I'm
but
like
yeah,
75,
75 million.
75 million
Wow.
worth of fucking,
Um, that's it's 75 million plus. That is how much they
like
made.
what? Like, is this for Courtney Cox's Botox or what, man? Like, fuck. Hey,
Um,
before anyone gets
hey,
mad at me, even she recently said that,
yeah.
like maybe getting Botox was a bad idea. She's kind of made those comments before.
I mean,
So,
well, Alex, going back, like someone said, it does film in Canada, and it's this summer or whatever. I wonder if the like, and someone's like pointing out, like, what if we get a winter themed Scream movie?
oh, that'd be cool.
That would be cool. I was like,
That'd
yes,
be the
like,
play against like the light and the dark of the snow,
oh yeah, and
you
like,
know?
and it'll also be like, and funny enough is they mentioned Black Christmas in Scream 5, so I'm like, that'll be funny if they try to play with that.
But like if they're filming it in June in Canada, I mean,
Yeah, I'm
snow would
like,
be, it's not to say snow is
no,
impossible in Canada in June. It's very possible. I think what cracks me up though is like, are they going to treat it like a Hallmark movie? Because they film like 70 Hallmark movies or some shit, during this, or maybe 30. I think they film like
it's
30 Hallmark movies and Lifetime movies or whatever during the summer.
yeah. Well, you
And
know
those,
that it's like 30 to 40 of them are filmed during the summer, and even though like it's and like they're all like probably like 2 to 3 week productions, so it's like
yeah,
and it's like it's Lifetime, so and Hallmark, so
yeah. And there's definitely a lot there.
I mean there's Tyler Perry who films a whole season of a show in 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, look, I'll say this about Tyler Perry. That man is a machine.
you know that
Like,
Taraji P Henson movie that he did they filmed that in like 3 days.
was like the Dear like White People, or not Dear White People.
No,
It was
um,
was it Four Black Girls? Was that the one?
no, it was hold on,
Dear White People.
Acrimony, Acrimony.
Oh, Acrimony. That was what, the
Yeah,
Thriller?
yeah,
They shot it in 3 days?
yeah,
What? That's
yeah.
some serious pre-production though. If you're gonna knock out a feature film in 3 days, I mean, look, my terrible ass feature film we shot in a
It's
day and a
$20
half.
million
20, they blew 20
budget.
million in three. Oh my god, a lot of that's kind of, Jesus Christ, man. $20 million, they shot it in 3 days. How does that even
Yeah,
work?
I don't know.
I guess when you own the production company and you own the soundstage and you own the methods of distribution, you kind of like are just kind of paying yourself at that point.
Yeah,
I might need to look that one up a little bit and dive right on in there. But we
be
got
like, I'm gonna film a movie that was like that's more than $20 million. That's like $25 million in 2 days. Beat me.
it
It's
can be
like
done.
it can be
It can
done.
be done. I like, this is why I like point of view found footage, because it's like you can shoot it super quick.
Oh yeah,
Like I mean, again, like that's basically at this point. And if I ever get back into movie making, and I do hope to one day, those are the only movies I want to make. Like literally, the only ones I want to make are point of view found footage. Like that's it. Those are the ones I think are the most visceral. They're the ones I have the most fun with, and I think you get it with Stab. It's very character driven, and it's very lore heavy because you have to like fill it. So it's a very
right.
story driven plot. and there's some really good ones out there. And I'll tell you the one that and I see Gailey here, by the way. Thank you. I can help you get back in the game. I'm a little bit away from getting back in the game, but I'll keep that in mind, though. Thank you. Also, here, Mo Moon says, I wrote Moonfall for the Hallmark Network. Yeah, but the budget was a little bit too high for it. So
Yeah.
clearly, I don't even know who distributed Moonfall. Who put out, was it Sony?
I
I
don't know, and I don't care.
I feel like Moonfall would have been a Sony movie. It just feels like a bad decision they would have made. But thank you for that. I really
every
appreciate that.
decision Roland Emmerich makes is bad. So like,
I
Lionsgate.
mean, like,
Lionsgate.
oh, Okay, that doesn't surprise me either. Lionsgate. Lionsgate absolutely needs a win at this point. But I'll tell you what. Well, the John Wick franchise is at this point kind of all they've got, which is why I think we're going to be getting a new Hunger Games here, and I think they're going to reboot Twilight.
Yeah. I mean, they are doing a Hunger Games prequel with President Snow. I was like, how he becomes the president of like all.
Yeah, based on the book.
Yeah.
That like no one raved about.
I was just like, wait, there's another book.
But remember, Paramount is the ones who did 50 Shades of Grey. So, you know, and I don't know about you, but I had to suffer through that. And suffer, I absolutely fucking did. It was my own fault, though. I'll tell you, it was my own fault. I'll tell you this real quick before we get to the next little bit here. So back in the summer of it was 2012, I think it was 2012. I knew the book had just kind of like blown up that year, right? The three of them. And my girlfriend was looking for something to read. And she's like, I don't know what to like, because she listens to audiobooks while she was going to and from work. And I'm like, and I knew that 50 Shades of Grey was a ripoff of Twilight. I knew that it was a fan fiction. And we'll be talking about fan fiction tonight, folks. But I knew it was a fan fiction that ended up getting picked up and blew up, you know, and became its own thing, which is good. And E.L. James made like $50 million alone in like 2012 from book sales, because it was everywhere, right? Wow. Like all of a sudden, every soccer mom out there is reading 50 Shades and like discovering like parts of their body they hadn't noticed in years.
I remember there's this scene in The Office when Phyllis is listening to the audio book of 50 Shades of Grey, and then and basically Dwight pours water on her, and during that time it's Andy, he's the regional manager, and then he takes Phyllis's audio pod, like the little iPod, and then puts and listens to it, and then he's like, and it's like, and then I think it's Pam or Jim. It's like, if you know what 50 Shades of Grey is and you're listening to the book, it's basically audio porn, and it's like,
yeah, I mean, like it is.
I'm just like, oh my god.
Well, here's the thing with that, right? So like the same summer my girlfriend was listening to that, I was listening to the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Or maybe that was a year before I had listened to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. But and that book is awesome, by the way. The movie's really solid too, but the book is better. However, so I knew that this was a Twilight ripoff, right? I knew this was a Twilight ripoff. And my girlfriend hates Twilight. 50 Shades of Grey, it's a Twilight ripoff, literally.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah, right. It's like, I mean, like it, you know, Bella and the Anastasia, right? Christian Grey and you know, Edward Cullen, like literally the same characters. And so I knew that, and but I knew my girlfriend hated Twilight, so I'm like, hey, here's something you could read. Why don't you check out 50 Shades of Grey? All the rage right now, you know. And she's like, oh, okay. So she checked it out, and so the first day, so this is July 2012. And so I'm getting ready to go to Comic-Con for the weekend. So I'm in LA. I'm getting ready to go out of town for a week to go down to San Diego. And she, you know, so she goes to work and we're running an errand. And she's like, so I was listening to the 50 Shades book today. I said, oh, how is it? She's like, it's terrible. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's pretty bad, right? And I'm like, yeah, isn't the character of Anastasia, like, isn't her only like noticeable character flaw is that she's clumsy? She's like, yeah, right?
Oh yeah, it's like, basic. It is a Twilight fan fiction.
Yes, it was the yeah. She went under the name like Ice Dragon
titled
Snow Queen.
it's usually it was originally titled Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You didn't know. I see. This is the thing. Like, this is where it's like, you're a
I
bit on the
didn't know
younger
the
side. I
history of
wouldn't.
this.
Yeah.
I
There's
didn't know the
history there.
history of it.
Uh huh.
I was
Oh
just
yeah.
like, I just knew
Try
that it was like something really
try
crazy.
being a freelance writer in Los Angeles during that particular time period when that blew up,
Poetry,
because all of a sudden it was erotic fiction everywhere. It was like, can you write a
erotic drama was
story
everywhere.
of two people
You
engaged
would
in a
go to Barnes and
dramatic
Noble.
fucking relationship? You know.
You go to
And I'd
Barnes and
have,
Noble either.
yeah.
It's like you're like, oh, you can't even
Not
go to
even.
the kids section without passing by like 15 of them.
Oh, dude, Target had a whole front section, like in their book section. It was like an end cap, but like facing the aisle. And it was all like the adult romance section, and it's all like
Oh
50
wow.
Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, 50 Shades Freed. And then I'm like, there's like this Crossfire series, and there's like all these other books in there. Anyway, so going back to the story. So my girlfriend is like, she was kind of laughing at it, and then I told her, I'm like, ha ha ha, it's a Twilight fanfic, ha ha ha. She's like, oh my god, that's stupid. I'm like, yeah, ha ha. So I go out of I leave the next day. I go out of town. I'm thinking to myself, like, she's not gonna go back to this fucking book, right? She's not gonna just like, okay, we laughed at it, ha 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 ha. I get a call like a couple nights later, and she's bawling, and I'm like, this the last time she called me at Comic-Con when she was crying was because someone had stolen her bike. And I said, I'm like, oh no, what happened? I'm like, are the cats okay? Are the apartment okay? The car, like, oh my god, what's going on? And then she's like, I just finished book 2, and I'm just having like the greatest cry. So she
Oh
loves those
my
books.
god.
Like, even here, a decade later, even today, we were having a conversation about the book series while we were prepping dinner. And it's just like, because she was talking about it with her sister, finding out that they both liked it. And I'm just like, fuck, I hate my life. You know what I mean? Like, I hate, like, we watched the first movie when it came out on home video. We didn't see it in theaters. And we saw the second one in theaters. And then I'm not going to the third one. I'm just not. I'm not going to pay money for this. And then
Right.
as a result, we haven't seen the third one yet. I mean, I'm sure she has, but like, I haven't seen the third one, and I've been okay with that. You know, it's just like, it's all like, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. But I'll tell you what's gonna be bad, and I don't know if it's gonna be good, but I'm hoping that it's good. That I want to do is this Riddler Year One. So if you like the Batman and you want more Riddler, you're going to be able to get
Anyone.
yeah, of Year One. Which, I mean,
Right.
let me ask you the question to that one. Isn't like effectively the week that the Batman takes place Riddler Year One?
Well, so there's the prequel novel, and tells you that that this is not his first time doing like a mass murder spree, and like that there was a time when he was doing mass murder sprees before, but it wasn't political or anything. It was just revenge killings, and the first revenge killing that he did was on a fellow orphan who killed, I believe, his like crush or something. Um, so like it was like a revenge killing, and then like he's done like 5 killings after that. So he's already been a serial killer before this movie. Um, so if that goes into that, him and like if it's like a drawing and stuff of like him becoming the thing that we found in the movie, then cool. But if it's like from the Riddler's perspective of the movie in 6 issues, cool too. I don't know
Yeah, I mean,
what this
I'll definitely give it a read.
yeah.
I think this can be a bit more approachable than a prequel novel, if you want my honest opinion.
Yeah, the thing about the prequel novel, I was just like I was it's one of those things where I was like, it's cool and everything that you had a prequel novel for the book. For the movie, I mean. But what really diminishes, the movie and the fact that you have a prequel novel is the history that people now have to go and read that book, you know. to
Yeah,
feel
I
like
mean,
they know, because they may
sure.
mention something, because in that book they mentioned that that Alfred trained Bruce, so there's no Bruce going to raise Al Ghul and stuff like that. Um, there's none of that whole storyline. It's
Well,
just
I
its
think I
own.
think looking at how Matt Reeves wants to handle it, I don't think a lot of like the sword of the
Right.
sorcery shit's gonna play. To be fair, I just
Yeah.
like I don't see like Solomon Grundy making an appearance. I don't see like a lot of these like more magical characters, or I don't think the League of Shadows is going to make an appearance. It's going to be very kind of grounded Batman, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with either, but I feel like
I
I
think
feel like
that.
Christopher Nolan fucked up Talia al Ghul real bad.
Oh yeah. I don't
So,
think anyone would want to touch Talia al Ghul in live action wise ever again after that.
yeah, I mean, if they could go back and just like reshoot her death scene where it's not comically terrible.
Right.
I mean, she literally just does that bleh part.
I'm dead.
I'm dead. Ah, you guys, you got me.
It's like, we get it, you're dead. So you don't need to moan and cry that you're dying.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like, what are you, an overactor in Hollywood?
like, oh dear God.
But I mean, either way, like I think the Riddler year one, it'd be fascinating to read. Paul Dano was writing it, which is the most interesting part of it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we've had Danny DeVito write a Penguin and
yeah,
Catwoman series, or
well, what's
post miniseries.
fascinating, well, the thing is though, what I think though is gonna be very interesting about this is that what we're going to ultimately see is that because Dano is not done as the Riddler, he'll come back,
Oh yeah, no, he's
and
not
so
even like the Riddler yet. So it's
yeah, and so we're going to get to that point, and it's going to be like a lot more. This is the evolution. What I like about the Reeves movies is that we get to see the evolution of these characters. I know, like the Gotham show on Fox, like it did that with Penguin and Riddler and everything else. You got a lot of these characters that did go through growths, and some way better than others as time went on.
right.
But here I think it's gonna be more grounded and more just based in reality. And I don't know if I would see Bane ever making an appearance in this. And if he does do Bane, it's definitely not going to be like, I would say, I think Tom Hardy's iteration of Bane has fundamentally destroyed the character. And only because that voice is so now iconic that if you have a Bane and he doesn't sound like that, people are going to go,
That's
well, fuck.
because, as you can see with Gotham and Harley Quinn, I suppose Harley Quinn makes fun of it, and Gotham, the way they made it so that he could sound like that was that they basically, so they had the dude that becomes Bane basically have damaged vocal cords and also uses speakerphone as as like a speaker part of his like pack of like venom that he injects into his body. So basically, so then it sounds like he's this big loud guy. So it's just like they've yeah, like I think like everything that Nolan has done is cool and everything, but at the same time I think there's some ramifications that he did that has ruined what the potential of the future of these characters can be, and just like in media wise and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh
and
yeah.
he's
Well,
like,
that's kind of the whole that's kind of the whole thing is just like, Bane of like, you merely I was born in the darkness. You
I
merely
was
adopted it.
born.
I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't even see light until I was a man.
Does
Uh, you
does he
know,
kill you to take that thing off of you?
it is quite painful for you.
I'm just like,
Look, and I
oh,
don't even hate that part. I actually really like Bane in that fucking movie. Like, I still think originally I was like, it's kind of a lame ass voice, but like now it's so synonymous with that character, and it's so synonymous with many of those quotes. And they played it, they
Ramadas.
they lampooned it so well in the Harley Quinn show that it's like that is now Bane's voice.
Yeah,
That is, I mean, even Alan Tudyk in the Harley Quinn show voicing Joker made him sound a bit like Mark Hamill.
he
Played it up a
sounds
bit
like a
like Mark.
mixture of Mark and Heath.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like,
Yeah, he does a good job, but it still sounds
yeah,
similar enough. So
yeah,
you're okay with it, but it's done in an over the top comical fashion, so it's not taking itself seriously.
yeah.
Whereas,
That
like,
That's the thing with Harley Quinn. It doesn't take itself seriously, but people take it so seriously when they announce that Kite Man show. People are like, this is just another Peacemaker announcement type of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. It's
clearly you
like
don't watch the show. Like,
I'm like, y'all can eat a dick. Kite Man is goat.
right?
Like Kite Man is great. Y'all
Right.
kind of cray. Y'all kind of cray. What you doing, man? Kite Man is
Right.
awesome. And giving it a show like Cheers is going to be good too. I think that's going to
That's
be kind of
hilarious.
that's going to be the really funny thing about this. I'll show you guys this real quick. This was oh fuck Jesus Christ, that is massive. All right.
Out of context, that sounds so weird.
Yeah, so this is a meme I posted on the community page. Uh
Oh, that's true. That is
So it's
true.
like, wait for Harley Quinn getting a Kite Man show,
Yes.
good old Ilnung or Ilnam, fucking goat player of Squid Game. If you haven't seen Squid Game yet, yeah, you're missing the hell out. So speaking of games, that's my nice little segue into talking about Halo. Apparently, this is causing a stir. This is causing a problem. A lot of people aren't very happy about this because the Halo, uh, you know, showrunner is saying that they didn't look at the games, and I think
I
people are
mean,
misconstruing what he says. Right?
yeah.
I think I think the whole point here is that it's like because an adaptation is not a game. It's not. It's like you cannot recreate the game experience in a linear storytelling format. That is just a reality that so many folks out there just don't want to acknowledge. But anyway, it says here that Halo showrunner Stephen King says that they didn't look at the game when they were creating the show. In an interview with Variety, he spoke about the creative process behind Paramount's take on Halo, revealing that they didn't look at or think about the games. Kane says, "We didn't look at the game. We didn't talk about the game. We talked about the characters and the world. So I never felt limited by it being a game." Now, that is both, in my mind, as far as storytelling is concerned, that's actually the right thing to do. Because, you're telling a story and you want to talk about the characters in the world and the story of the experience. And so if you start tying it into the game, are people are is it really just going to be the notion of like it's kind of like look at Uncharted, for example, right? Uncharted is a prequel film to Drake's Fortune. And what is their one of their primary action scenes is the most marketable aspect of number 3, which was not a prequel story. The whole plane sequence. That was one of their that's all they marketed for. And in their trailers was showing off that plane sequence that's very recognizable, very much in line with the game, but it's from the third game. So, and that's a lot, and the thing is, guess what? $303 million for that movie. And I know people that went to go see it today even and came out saying that they had a blast watching Uncharted. So you got to ask yourself here, like, are these, if they're not talking, if they're looking at the characters in the world and they're building the story around that, and they're still working to tell the same story, but they're just doing it in a slightly different way, is it the end of the fucking world? No, it's not. But a lot of people are just going to look at that title and they're going to get their blood boiling because they don't understand how storytelling operates. Now, going on here a little bit further, it says here, executive producer Kiki Wolfkill says early on we were thinking about doing something that could tie very closely to the game. What we were finding was that trying to verbatim stay with everything that had come before wasn't serving the medium. It also wasn't serving the creative teams and their need to express a story and build a world through their eyes. And that's the other part of storytelling, especially when you're doing an adaptation. When you're doing an adaptation, you're trying to showcase this world, trying to tell these stories, but certain things are not going to be adaptable because they just don't cross mix in regards to the medium. And Caden, I'm sure you'll agree with me on that one.
Yeah, I do. I do agree on that part. That there's a not everything can be, even if like people are expecting these things to have at least some sort of like straight to one to one adaptations or some faith in the thing they're adapting. But I think if we stopped, like if we look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe, especially as a good example, none of that stuff is a one to one adaptation. And especially if you look at Civil War, that's not one to one, nor does it really have the only similarities between the comic and the movie is the whole team Iron Man and Team Captain America and the Sokovia Accord thing. And other than that, there's not really much that is like really faithful
No,
to
it's
the
not.
comic.
It's they take the key story and they break it down where they can. They make it work where they can, and then they do new things where they can. And that's again
Yeah.
the whole point of these adaptations. But a lot of people out there are just having trouble with it. However, I
Also,
want to bring
people forget what adaptation means.
yeah, well,
Adaptation.
absolutely, absolutely. Now
It's
I
not like
haven't seen well,
it's
like
not
I
like just
haven't seen the
saying
show,
right. And
so I can't say if it's good or bad yet.
I mean, I've talked to some people who have seen it, and they said it's if you are a fan of the games, you'll like certain aspects of it, and you'll understand certain things. And then if you're new to this whole stuff, you'll like it.
Yeah, well,
It
I
like
think that's kind of the point. It's meant to
yeah,
serve the newbies.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And but at the same time, as a fan of the franchise, as a fan of the story, as a fan of the characters, and I have been for over 20 years, I think like the story itself is established well enough to be able to like to be relatively adaptable, pretty straightforward. But it's also again like, not everyone out there has read The Fall of Reach, so not
no,
everyone out there is going to know that what happens in The Fall of Reach, how they get out, how they get to the construct, how they get to the Halo, and so they can kind of play with that a little bit because they also need to in the show establish the covenant battle. They need to establish how the covenant have been glassing planets. They need to establish the outposts, the outer colonies, and the rebels, right? Because there were pushback. Not everyone was UN. There wasn't a lot of UNSC propaganda and love on the outer skirts of things, and so that's
yeah,
kind of one of the things that aimed towards the Mjolnir project, the Spartan project, to kind of come to fruition. So there's elements there that they just have to touch upon, and that's kind of be the point. Now, do I think like showing Pablo Schreiber's face is going to be good? No, that's not something I necessarily want.
right.
Because in the game you never get that, but it's like also Mando, they established the rules for it, but he still breaks those rules, and as times goes on, he's going to take his helmet off a lot more often.
Yeah, and I asked because when I was talking to the person, I was like, "Is it basically Mandalorian plus Winter Soldier?" And they're like, "Yeah, add a little bit more conspiracy to it, and then it's
Okay,
basically the show." So I'm like,
well,
"Okay,
yeah, and like coming over here and looking at Rotten Tomatoes, right? We talked about this the other day and it had 57. And I
yeah,
said, I said the reviews are only going to go down, and then it actually had jumped up to 22% or to 60% at one point, and then it had
hmm,
just dropped back down to 59%. So it's like this isn't terrible.
no,
59 isn't terrible. I mean,
it's
I
it's
mean, then
fine,
oh
honestly."
yeah, it's fine. That's I guess a
Yeah,
good way to look at it. Yeah.
I mean, it just shows that 59% of the reviewers liked it, and 41% was like, "Okay," you know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, like, look, Nick Shager here says the Paramount Plus series faithfully reproduces the video game's world and thrills and features a commanding lead turn from Pablo Schreiber. Like, okay, um, like what I want to see.
Grace.
There's Grace. I know what I want to see is I want to see what people who I know who grew up playing Halo have to say. Like my friends who like Halo, because those are the
Mm.
ones that I really got into it with. Um, and
Yeah, I would like to see some like that's the thing. Like also, it's like I haven't seen. I don't know certain reviewers, and I don't know if they're like diehard Halo fans. So I haven't seen like a reviewer that's a diehard Halo fan review TV show yet.
Yeah, well, here's my fucking question then. Here's my fucking question. Why is it that they ran Sean O'Connell through the fucking ringer by saying, I don't identify with the characters in this movie, therefore I'm not a big fan of it. And they're upset about that. But, you know, people like you don't have people who are diehard Halo fans reviewing this shit right off the bat, you know, that are going to tell you if it's good or not for fans. I just think there's a double standard and all that crap. We deal with hypocrisies and double standards all the time.
I mean, also look at the Batman review where it's like basically this Marvel Disney person was reviewing it and said he wasn't smiling, he wasn't giving like bubble baths to kids and stuff. He was beating up people. That's bad.
He wasn't giving bubble baths to kids?
Hell no, I'm just like...
That's like a really weird analogy. That's a very oddly specific example. Like, Caden, does people dressed as superheroes give you baths? I mean, like, show me on the doll where they touched you, Caden.
I don't know. I was just like... I think I saw H versus Soap, so bubble baths came into my mind.
I don't. Jesus Christ, dude! Fucking. I got, man. Like, it's the whole damn thing. Is crazy. Anyway, look, I'm excited. I am excited for Halo the series. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Could you just imagine that, like, Batman over Robin? Now, okay, there, Dick. We need you to make sure you wash behind your ears and that you make sure you get everywhere. All right. I've been noticing there's been some skid marks, some streaks in your underwear, and that's okay. We deal with a lot of pants shitting environments, but you know, it's a lot there. You got to remember, you got to wipe. You know, I know. Okay. You know, now, okay, finish up your bath and then put on your footy pajamas and we'll lay you down and read you a book. You want to read Pete the Cat, huh? You like Pete the Cat? Yeah, Save Summer. Okay, Pete the Cat. It's a cat on a skateboard. Kind of like the penguin we just fought, you know, with the dynamite. Kind of similar. Not as scary, though. No. Yeah. I mean, think about like the emotional scarring on children. Marcus says, I just found out way too much about Caden Kink. Yeah, man. A little bit there. A little sus. Speaking of well, we have ourselves a little bit more. We have another sus person in the background. What up, saggy smelly melons?
Hey, little mama, let me listen in here. Where'd you see that?
What?
I understood what you were doing.
I don't know what you were saying right there.
God,
hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
You never heard the song?
Let me tell you something.
No, why? What?
You never heard the whisper song? Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear. Let me do this.
No, what the fuck does it even mean? Hey, little mama, let me.
Oh my god, he's never.
What are you trying to like? Are you trying to like ASMR, like assault somebody or something?
God, you've never heard the whisper
Is
song?
Is that like how the new like Ted Bundy is gonna like get its victims?
Jarbo,
like,
just when you have time, look up the whisper song.
Can I interest you in some ASMR?
Oh my god, the fact that he's not heard the whisper song is triggering me so mad.
The fuck? Like, I'm sorry, I spend time on the internet, but like usually in like more adult places.
Do you not listen to music, bro?
I listen to music, but like,
so how have you not heard the whisper song? I was like a friggin' like a hit for it was played on the radio all the time.
I don't listen to the radio.
Mid 2000s, bro. What do you mean?
I don't listen to the radio.
You need Jesus in your life. I'm gonna pray for you.
Listen, I'm a sophisticated individual. I listen to audiobooks on MP3.
You're not. That doesn't. What did you say you were?
Sophisticated.
No, that's old. You're old.
Hold on, Saggy. You called me on the phone yesterday and you told me point blank in your own words, and I'm quoting this, you're smarter than me.
Why? Okay, number one, first of all, why are you telling people our private conversation? That was between me and you.
I am merely just, you're trying to say like, you know, I'm old, but I'm pointing out that like I'm a...
Yes, because you're wise, because you're old. Of course you're going to be smarter than me.
Oh, I got the gray in the beard, unfortunately. Yeah, that's a big thing today.
I can't believe he really just told on air with how many people watching that we had a private conversation that I said he was smarter than me, and he just aired out our laundry.
You could have denied it, but you just confirmed it. So thank you.
Yeah, well, you know what? Again, it's because you're old. You are knowledgeable and wiser because you're old.
Like the Whisper song, I don't know. I've never heard that song. As like, is it anything like, you know, Nickelback?
No, it's the Yang Twins.
Who?
Oh my god, he's so old. I love it. Like
No,
what kind
no,
of rap?
2005.
no. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up.
Just
Let
look
me
it
ask you
up.
guys. Let me ask you guys a question. All right, when the fuck do you think rap jumped the shark?
I would say after the Yeet. I would say. I mean, Kaden, would you
I
say
mean,
like
Cash
rap?
Money Millionaires
Okay,
is
so
when it
yeah,
jumped the shark.
I mean,
Bling
Cash,
bling,
bling bling
bling
bling
bling
bling
is
was a
when rap fucking died.
dude. Bling bling was a friggin' booty shaker though.
rap died when
Dude, yeah,
people started
but think
actually
about
like rap died like in like when people like. Okay, I agree with Jay-Z on to a certain extent that rap died when people were doing auto tune.
No. First of all, that was T Pain that brought the auto tune into light. But here's the thing. So
I
rap,
mean, T-Pain's a great rapper. It's
rap,
just that.
no, rap officially died. No, this is truth. Rap officially died when all the rappers who were rapping to get out the hood got out the hood and were billionaires. That's when rap died. Because when
Yeah.
you're a rapper and you rapping about your life experience, and now you're not living that life experience anymore, you can't keep rapping about times of the hood when you're no longer in the hood.
yeah, right. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That was
Or,
Cash Money Millionaire. That was bling bling. It's like they went and they took it from like it was not about like being in the streets or like growing up tough and growing up hard. It's all about like, oh, what can I purchase? It's what can I buy? Like look at this
I got all
material
these
items that I have. And I think that this destroyed the medium,
You
I mean,
you know how bad it is, our Jarbo, real quick, so you can go back to topic. But rap is really getting bad when kids, and I kid you not, a kid told me this, that they want to move into the hood so they can be a aspiring rapper, and I was like, sweetheart, you do know that the rappers rap to get out of the hood, but you want to go in it so you can be a rapper. I don't think that's how it works. But sure.
yeah.
Or
I want
do they want to become an island boy?
island boy.
I live in a nice house.
Island boy.
It's like I live in a nice house and I want to live in the project so I can be a rapper so I can go back to
I
living
will
in a
say-
nice house.
I will say the Island Boys shit is like really catchy.
It's
You
really
know.
catchy and annoying. And
It's
like,
super annoying, but you're just like Island boy,
Boy.
Island boy.
I'm trying to make it.
We had a
Island
child
boy.
molester in our house. Island boy.
Rodney, for the record, I do still feel like some rappers out there still be hustling in the streets though. I wouldn't be
Oh.
surprised if some of them rappers be still hustling in them streets because they got the
Yeah.
money.
Oh yeah. Well, no, 50 Cent, man, is like that because he's broke, so he's got to get it where he can.
I mean,
Real
he's
quick here.
producing on this TV.
Yeah. Well, there's some money. Rational here for 5 bones, but I think it says in Halo 4 Legendary Ending, you get a decent glimpse of Master Chief's face. I couldn't get into Halo 4, man. I tried. It was just 343 hit their 343 hit their stride with Halo Infinite. I'll grant them that, but like 4 and 5 are just kind of like they're weak entries into it. They're weak entries. They're not
the Halo 4 multiplayer was garbage. Like the campaign, the story wise, it was like okay, but like Halo was all about that multiplayer aspect, and like for some reason Halo 4 just missed it. It was really bad. I couldn't stand the changes they made in Halo 4 for the multiplayer. It was probably the worst thing they did.
50 cents only has 50 cents in his bank account.
Boo.
Do you know one time he filed for bankruptcy or some shit like that. And then like he posted an image on his Instagram of like him with like next to like a whole bunch of cash.
Oh my
And like
God.
the IRS saw it and they're like, the fuck you doing, man? Like you said you're broke. What is this? I think
that's my 50 cents.
I think he was like, it's not mine, it's my friend's or something like that.
Oh my God.
Rational. Here's the thing. I wish I had access to my Xbox account because I have some nasty Halo clips of me no scoping people. It was beautiful. I was nasty at Halo.
I tried to do Halo Machinima, which I was terrible at, which we have watched here, and we're not going to do it tonight. But we've definitely done all that. Yeah, I mean, I love Halo, man. Halo's the shit. So I look forward to the show. I've been waiting all these fucking years, man. So
it's crazy because I remember when it was first announced that Pablo Schreiber was going to be playing Master Chief, and he posted that picture of him like holding the helmet.
Who?
Pablo Schreiber.
Oh.
And I was like, that's gonna be a cool show to see, because like Pablo Schreiber's like not really a big name actor, so you don't really see his face. But then here we're finding out that we are gonna see his face. So it's just like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to that one. That's gonna have to be a thing. Very, very much have to get used to that one. But that's okay. That's okay. That's what happens with this stuff,
Yeah.
all the time. All right, so why don't we I think we're gonna get joined here in a couple minutes by some people, if I'm being honest with you. Because somebody else just stopped streaming, so we're probably gonna get a couple people jumping on. So today has been a very interesting day, my friends. Today marks the 1 year anniversary of Zack Snyder's Justice League. 1 year. 1 year since this iconic shot. This apparently iconic shot. It was missing a hot dog, kind of lost it on me. And of course, the greatest thinking man's pose of all time. I look, I will fully say, I have been critical of the fandom 100%, but I really like this movie. I love this movie. I think it's very well done. It's a lot better than what we got before it. Sadly, what we got before it is what's considered canon. And today I've been reminded that none of that
is canon.
Apparently I can't say that. Apparently I can't say that, Caden. Apparently if I say,
and you like this movie,
I know, right? Like I'm critical.
You
can't say what?
Being against
yourself. Well, I was saying that it's that Zack Snyder's Justice League is fan fiction. And people be real mad at me for saying that, right? I had a lot of quote tweets today. Not a lot of it direct engagement, which I think is kind of funny. Every time I trigger the Snyder Cut fandom, it's always a whole bunch of quote tweets. And I don't read the quote tweets because I don't give a fuck. It's like, no, like directly respond to me,
Yeah.
But
it's not fan fiction.
It is fan fiction because it's not considered canon.
It's not fan fiction.
It's fan fiction.
It's not made by a fan like that. No.
So you're saying that Zack Snyder is not a fan?
No.
Oh, exposed. Saggy exposed. Snyder hater. Saggy the Snyder hater coming in my stream, dropping them things. She doesn't even believe Zack Snyder is a fan of DC. She probably doesn't even think he directed this movie.
Wow, Saggy. Saggy, you are a hater.
No, listen. I could listen. Directors can be fans. That's true. But I don't consider when a director makes a movie, like I don't consider it fan fiction, because fan fiction means like the fans of that product are making their own stories. I don't think that, because here's the thing.
That's basically
shush. Was Joss Whedon's version, do they consider that canon?
Yes.
Okay, but it was originally Zack Snyder's story. Zack Snyder just added more context to that story. It's not fan fiction because he started the project. So he started it, Joss Whedon finished it, but let's just be honest, even though Joss Whedon finished it, the project still, in its respects, belongs to Zack. So I'm sorry, but to say that Zack's Justice League movie was fan fiction, it's like, no, don't even put up the damn freaking definition. I'm gonna smack you. I know what you're doing. Go ahead. Go on with your basketball.
Well, was it
read it back. Go ahead, read it.
The definition of fan fiction: stories involving popular fictional characters that are written by fans and often posted on the internet, also called fanfic.
Okay.
Hi, RJ.
Hold on, wait, no.
Hi, RJ.
Okay, hold up.
No, RJ, let me finish. RJ, let me finish my point before you get into it. Let me get out my point. Here's the thing, right? But what does it say there? Posted on the internet, right? So Zack Snyder Justice League was streamed on HBO.
How do you access streaming services, Saggy?
I understand that, but my whole point is that you're making.
Is it through the internet?
But Matt,
I have a question. I got a question.
But
why
Matt,
are you purposely trying to piss people off? That's my question. Because like you were trying super hard today, and I don't get it.
Wait,
actually, I was not trying that hard. I could have tried a lot harder.
My point being, though, you're trying to poke a bear about this.
RJ,
I'm not sure
I am.
why.
RJ, RJ,
do you not know Jarbo?
Do you not know, right? Do you not know Jarbo?
I understand that, but it's just like you're dying on a weird hill right now. I'm not sure why.
What hill am I dying on? Am I dead?
You're telling me this was worse than the freaking Autumn shit, RJ? Are you high?
I'm not saying it's worse. I'm just saying like I'm just saying it's just a weird hill to be dying on.
RJ, he got more backlash. He got more backlash for the autumn shit. This is fucking like literally potatoes right now. This is nothing.
Well, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, to call it fan fiction, I just don't understand at all.
I've been calling it fan fiction forever, though, so it's not a new statement to make. I just happened to say it today, and people out there took offense to that.
Matt,
you know what you're doing. You picked today.
I said that like Wayne T. Carr is not Green Lantern. And that is true.
That's a ridiculous statement. Anyway.
That is not a ridiculous statement. That is not a ridiculous statement. They shot, dude. Did you ever listen to him talk about that? He literally
listened to him. Yes,
he went up there. They drove up to Zach's driveway. They just shot the coverage of it, and that was it. Has anyone ever asked him what his lines were?
He had speaking lines. Yes.
How many lines did he have?
Talk to the people who have talked to him. I haven't personally talking to him.
He talked. He talked about it on stream before.
Yeah.
Okay, it's cool.
It says like 2 or 3 lines.
Yeah, he had a speaking role. It's not like not like the Peacemaker stand-ins where like
it's not really. It's not really. Here's the thing. To qualify as a speaking role, generally to get
why
credit,
does it matter though?
You need about 16. I think it's like 16 words. I think is what it qualifies.
But like I'm saying,
as.
like why does it matter?
Because here's the thing with that. It's like, again, we're talking about about how everything comes together. All right. If you think that Zach can just go, hey, I want you in my movie without going through the proper fucking channels, that's not how it works. Like, look, what Zach did.
Wait, what?
Okay, hold on. Let me explain. Okay, Caden, you will back me up on this, but I'll just say it real quick. Okay. You ever heard of a casting director?
I've heard of a casting couch.
I'm sure you have. A casting director generally helps in the process of bringing on the talent. They put out a casting call, go through the agents, bring the agencies, go through all that. That's one way of getting people in. There are times when actors are just offered a role. No auditioning necessary, but they're offered a role. In many instances, and practically all instances of a major character like this, even in a cameo scenario, it has to be vetted by the studio. The studio, which is paying the money for all this, they have a say in certain things. And this is one of those things where they shot the Martian Manhunter stuff because they'd already had the other stuff with Henry Lennox that they were able to use to, that other scene of him. Because his
character was okay.
His character was already in there.
As far as we're aware, Zach and the proper process was conducted. Right?
No.
We
found out. No, Archer. We found out that Jeff Johns and Walter Romano told him you can't use Green Lantern in this movie. What did he do? He went behind their back and shot a scene with Green Lantern.
Again, the conversations that are being had was that he was properly vetted and picked as his Green Lantern.
Here's the thing.
No, who says that?
Wait.
Who?
It's literally what Wayne himself said.
Wait, hold on. Shut the fuck up for a second, RJ. For everybody, for a fucking second. Like, I understand what y'all are saying, but did it ever occur to you that maybe he shot those scenes so he can bring it to them and say, hey, this is what I did. Can we use it? And simple as that. Like I said, this situation is a very rare, very rare instance that we have seen in Hollywood where a director started doing something, had to step down, wanted to finish, and had a fight to finish, had to reshoot scenes on with a budget in his back freaking yard, for crying out loud.
Front yard, but whatever.
Whatever. He shot it at home, not a freaking movie.
All he shot at home was the Martian Manhunter insert and this insert with Wayne T. Carr. That was it.
But what I'm saying is, we're trying to talk about the proper and it's like, dude, but he literally, this is a very rare situation that.
But
happened.
that doesn't, Saki, that doesn't supersede protocol.
But here's my question at the end of the day, Matt. Why does this matter to you? Because lately, like, you've been on this like crusade about Wade for the longest time. And I'm not sure, like, out of today when we get the reveal of what he looked like with the finished VFX, why it's a big deal and you're still pushing that.
Oh, I think it's funny. I think it's funny.
What's funny about it though? That's what I'm not getting.
Well, RJ, are you mad?
He actually sounds a little bit ticked. But like I said to RJ earlier, he's been hanging out with Max again, so I totally get it. But here's the thing. But here's the thing with this. Here's the thing with this. It's all it is this again, it's pointing out that because like this is not who, again, like I've said, if they are to go forward with Zack Snyder Justice League 2 and 3, it would not be Wayne T. Carr. It would not
Or
be
that
Wayne T. Carr.
We don't know that for sure,
Well,
though.
if it is Wayne T. Carr, then we would hear an announcement of an actual contract be signed.
Okay, then cool. Why can't we just celebrate the fact that he looks cool as Green Lantern? Like, why
did I ever say that? I say that he didn't look cool. I just said that he's not Green Lantern. That's it. Like that's.
But you know what you're
speaking,
doing when you're saying that. Though.
I know exactly what I'm saying when I do it, but I'm not wrong. And I know, and I don't sugarcoat this crap. You guys know I don't sugarcoat this crap.
For the record, I'm not in this fight against.
All I'm saying is like, look, like, and I put out a video. If I could find the thumbnail, it's here somewhere. A long time ago, where I talked about the Wayne T. Carr problem, and that got me a lot of attention from certain people.
But why is it a problem?
The problem again. What I said was everyone's like, "This is our Green Lantern. This is him," and I'm like, none of you have ever seen him fucking act. Like not once.
And
not once.
I mean, that's okay.
But again,
that's cool and all, but like nobody saw Ray Fisher act before he was cast as a cyborg.
None of us.
Well, no, people have.
Okay, but here's the thing.
He was on the stage. He was a stage actor, just like Wayne T. Carr was a stage actor.
Right, exactly. So it's like Wayne and Ray knew each other. They come from the same acting camp.
Exactly. So who do you think hooked him up for that particular role? He's like, we need somebody who can fill these shoes for this thing I'm shooting. And then Ray's like, oh yeah, and let me call my buddy Wayne.
But the reason why I disagree and like why I think it's kind of not crazy, but I think it's a little unfair to be like, well, you guys want we want Wayne as Green Lantern because number one, he's a new actor. We need more new black actors in the entertainment industry. And it would have been nice to see him do it. So yeah, if people we want Wayne, he looks the part, and we'd like to see him act the part. And I get what you're saying. Your criticism is fair, Jarbo, but at the same time, being like kind of making it seem like everyone's putting him on a pedestal. It's like, yes, because like we want to see new talent, especially.
Sure, I'm not negating. Actors. I haven't criticized Wayne as a person.
Well, again, though, if Zack Snyder filmed the scenes and said, "Okay, he's doing a good job as my Green Lantern," why can't that be good enough?
Because that's not how this. That's like, okay, saying a couple lines of dialogue does not necessarily mean that you have chemistry with all the other actors. It doesn't mean that you're going to be able to screen test well. That you're gonna fill. Because Caden, you know what I'm talking about. This, where it's not just when you do these things. It's not just one thing. You have to also make sure that they have the chemistry with the other actors. That they're able to screen test well. The audience would respond to them. And things like
maybe
that.
they would reevaluate that if they ever got to make more. But this is meant to be a special treat for the fans. That's the thing.
Why don't we just cast Idris Elba, Michael B. Jordan as freaking Green Lantern? Because we don't
all the
have,
variants. Do it.
We just only have the two major black actors. Right
don't forget Denzel.
Denzel won't do it.
What about John David Washington?
Why don't we just get Will Smith?
His son. What about Denzel's son? Don't forget about him.
Let's just get Will Smith. Yeah, Jaden Smith.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, Jaden could be Nightwing or Miles. We don't know. Yeah,
we don't need any new black talent. No, it's okay. We'll just throw in Michael B. We're fighting now, Jarvis. We're fighting.
I just think again though, it's just like I just don't understand why you're trying to die on this hill about the Wayne T. Carr thing. Like,
I'm not. I'm just pointing out that people out there listen. So we were talking about earlier with headcanon and fan fiction. Have it all the hell you want, but it ain't reality. All right, and that's
whatever reality the person wants.
I hate that argument. It's
the reality
because all you do is you establish you're establishing something in your mind that cannot be fulfilled.
By the way, RJ,
you're setting yourself up for disappointment.
Good job for
then that's their responsibility. Then if they set themselves up for disappointment, that's on them.
You completely jumped ahead because we were just arguing about the Snyder cut being fan fiction. But thank you for completely kind of making it something else. But no,
how the fuck am I drunk off of Power, Anthony? The 95. This is about my average viewer base anyway. What are you talking about?
Anthony, he's not drunk off of Power. He's drunk off of energy drinks. Get it right.
That is actually true. I've been very.
I think he's drunk off of trying to troll and get people to Snyder fans to block him. I think is what he's drunk off.
It does allow for a lot of silence. I'll tell you that. A lot of beautiful silence.
This is why Jarbo's been going solo without a panel.
The thing is, I have
beautiful fucking silence, Saggy.
You missed me.
That's why you had to call me to make sure I was okay. You're just like, are you okay? We missed you.
Yeah, I did miss you. I'm not mad at you. I
it's
like to
fine.
argue for the sake of arguing.
I love arguing too. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, we have good banter. I love it when we argue.
Are you guys done now?
We have
Are
a
you guys
very
done
great
now?
friendship. I love it.
Yeah, sorry,
You
go
guys
ahead.
done
No, Caden,
So-
shut your fucking mouth.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
So as you guys know, is that so as a watcher and of my father and my aunt in this business, there's a process that you have to go through when casting people. And I know it's crazy. You go through a casting process, and so you sent out a casting call, and you contact however many people that you can know to also audition, and the casting agents send people to audition, and you get a group of actors to do chemistry reads, and so clearly this actor who would have been playing Jon Stewart would have needed the chemistry read with Ben Affleck, Harry Lennox, and whoever they cast for Kilowog. Because they, even though Kilowog, the actor for Kilowog would not be on set, probably they still need to have at least know that they can riff off each other based off of their voice and personality that they get from each other's voice. And so that's
Question.
basically so basically if he were to go through the proper channels, then yes, that would have happened. So now,
question no, because I want to ask this question before I forget, and because it's what you just said. My question is though, do we know like the scene? Because like the Martian Manhunter in the Justice League cut, that was like CGI and a person like mixed together.
It was Harry Lennox said himself. Wayne T.
Right,
Carson,
but I'm
he
saying,
saw
like,
Harry Lennox when he was leaving.
But I'm saying, like, technically speaking, like, was that actor there in that scene with Ben?
Well, here's
No.
the other. Well, here's the
But,
other question.
but we know that because before, even before that Harry Lennox and Ben Affleck have a chemistry because they've been in like one project
Okay,
before together.
but my thing is what I'm getting at is like if Wayne didn't have to be in front of Ben and have that chemistry with Ben together, like I think it's safe. Like I've seen scenes where actors are shooting, they're talking to another actor, but the actor isn't even in that room.
Right, they're talking to nobody.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're talking to nobody.
Well, here's the other question we have to ask ourselves. Just because we have a typical process of how casting goes does not mean that this typical process of casting is one-to-one what exactly happened to Wayne either, right?
Okay,
there's there's other ways that casting goes about. We don't have to look at this like linear fashion.
What we know from the Wayne situation is that from Wayne T. Carson's perspective is that from what Wayne has said is that that he got a call from Ray Fisher saying that he has an audition for him to do, and that he wants to audition for this role, and he gave a good word to Zach, and he got the role. That's what we know so far. So
admittedly, we don't know all the
so basically what you're saying is we don't know if he went through the process. All we know is he got a call from Ray.
From Wayne's perspective.
Right, but
again,
Caden, you don't know if other people auditioned for that role, and Wayne just got a recommendation, and that's like I said, but you don't know if he went through the proper channels. But you're assuming, but you're insinuating he didn't.
I'm not assuming.
You are. You are saying that he didn't go through it. Yeah, you and Matt both basically said like he didn't go through the necessary network.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's a lot of information that we're not filling the blanks on. It feels like we're making assumptions.
The thing is, the thing is also that we know that there's character rights as well in this whole thing too. Character rights that me and Matt talked about earlier with Christopher Nolan, who's presented these character rights into Warner Brothers and stuff. Who has the character rights to Green Lanterns? Jeff Johns. So Zack Snyder needs Jeff Johns' permission to shoot any scene with a Green Lantern character. And so clearly, so if you were to ask Jeff Johns, hey, can I use Jon Stewart for the scene? And if Jeff Johns says, no, you can't, then that's final. Done. Boom. No. He can't even film it. He can't write a scene. No. That's kablooey. Done. So him filming this scene is going behind the back of an executive and the character owner of this character. So he will be fined for this because he filmed a scene that he was not let permission.
But again,
to
we're
film.
making assumptions, though. That's the
I'm
thing.
not
We
making
have
assumptions because I literally I know it because people talked about this whole thing before.
Oh my god,
And
I don't want to hear this with this hearsay shit. Like, we weren't there, we don't know. We can only base it off of what we do know. And again, the answer I'm getting is we don't know if he actually did go through the proper thing that he did
my
explain.
confusion about this is like, why are we assuming the worst of Wayne and Zach when it comes to the situation?
No,
how they
it's
handle
not.
it?
It's not assuming the worst. It's just you have to look at it from the most. Okay, he shot it without getting permission, and they said no. It was a moment of it's best to ask for forgiveness than permission. That's what it was. So he went behind their backs. They said don't shoot anything new. He shot something new. You know, and then he also said, remember, he kept saying no compromises. If they want me to compromise anything, I'm going to cancel the movie, blah, blah, blah. Well, they said, if you put this in there, we're going to cancel the project. So he compromised on something he wasn't allowed to do.
Where was this said, though? I'm trying to refresh my memory. Where was this said?
It must have been one of the streams he was on, man. This shit popped up a year ago. But it's been the general idea since then. Is that, like, he was told.
But I'm just saying, like, again, I'm just saying, unless we're in the room and we know for sure what exactly happened, there's a lot of like holes that need to be filled when it comes to this. Because again, we're like jumping from point A to point B when we're jumping from point A to point C and we're missing point B.
No,
right?
No, we're not. No, Caden and I are on point A, point B, point C. We've talked about this. There's a fundamental understanding about how the industry operates.
I understand how the industry operates, but not every situation is comparable to how things typically work, though.
When it comes to this specific situation, based upon things I've heard Zach say, this is something he went and shot behind their back. Most likely, this is what I believe happened. This is the most Occam's razor scenario breakdown. Because Wayne had said once that when he got to Zach's house, Henry Lennox had passed him on the way out.
Giggity.
So what that tells me is that they were shooting the Henry Lennox stuff for the Martian Manhunter bit at the end of the movie. And that since they already had the setup there, they wanted to also potentially get someone who could basically be a Jon Stewart type character or Jon Stewart and then put him in there. And they probably had him say a couple things and to do a couple different poses in the green screen, in the mocap suit, in order to then send it off to the visual effects people to get the shit made. And hope that if they put it together and it looked good enough, that they would let it slide in, because ultimately they knew that it wasn't going anywhere. That's what we're talking about here. It's like the whole thing has been, again, the company, the executives, the studio, everyone has been on the same page. This is a cul-de-sac. It is not moving forward. Other things are going to be happening. And it hasn't been, it's been the same now for a year. And that's what we're talking about, is like, so yeah, am I poking the bear a little bit? Absolutely. Am I going to, no shade on Wayne either. When I talked about the Wayne T car problem, that Enosh brought that up to Wayne when he was on Enosh's channel. And Wayne was like, yeah, no, Matt's got a point. He's got a point. People haven't seen me act. They don't know if I can do it, because that was my whole argument. And we watched his sizzle reel that he has in his IMDb. Still only has, I just checked it today, still only has 6 credits to his name. And I'm sure he's done a lot of Broadway acting, and that's good, because a lot of actors come off of Broadway.
What did you think about the reel?
It was okay. It wasn't, I need to see the Tragedy of Macbeth, because he's in that apparently.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's
okay.
pretty good. Yeah. Because I know he does Shakespeare stuff. Same with Ray. So it's like, cool. I'm sure that's going to be his wheelhouse. And I'm sure we're going to get a good, solid performance out of that. I'm not saying he wouldn't be good as Jon Stewart. What Caden and I are saying is that there's elements that go involved. It's like, do you think that when they cast Ben, that they didn't test him against Henry, and when they cast Gal, they didn't test her against the other ones?
Hold on, Protos. You say 6 credits is enough for Green Lantern. They casted Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern, and it was shit. Like, I don't think.
Also,
I'm just saying.
Also, again, credits don't mean shit either, because they just cast an actress who's playing Miss Marvel on the Disney Plus show, and she's going to be in a big Marvel movie.
But you're
She's never
comparing
anything
Miss Marvel
before.
to Jon Stewart. That's
Bro,
that's
I
It
just
doesn't.
oh my
He has,
god.
dude, Caden. He
Caden.
has Broadway experience. Like, you're
I
acting-
know, but you're.
He
I'm
has
just saying
listen,
that you
hold on.
had a
No,
very bad
credit
comparison.
you literally know it's not a bad comparison. 6 credits means he's been in 6 like films
No,
or projects.
no, I know.
You're
I'm
not
just saying-
they don't
No, actually, one of those credits is a YouTube podcast he was interviewed on.
Okay, well they did that too. But he didn't put his credits on theater. And he's a theater actor.
Internet Movie Database. That doesn't really like.
Sounds
You
like
don't
a
really.
website.
It doesn't really work that way. You know. I mean, like, no, they should he have it up there? Absolutely.
I'm just saying that RJ's thing about comparing Iman Vellani to
my
Quincy
point.
Carr for the whole.
My point is that
I'm
you
just
don't.
saying that was a bad comparison. I know what you're saying.
The
I
audition
understand that, but
process and how they vet these actors.
We're going in circles.
You don't
Please
need to
don't talk about
necessarily
it.
have all the acting credits in the world to get cast
But,
in a
well,
big role.
It
However,
helps,
but
still.
however,
You need to follow
okay, let's go
protocol.
back. Let's tie it back into another Marvel scenario. All right, go back to 2015 when Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal were casting for the new Spider-Man. They wanted to bring in Marvel wanted Asa Butterfield as Peter Parker. That was their choice. And he was the front runner for the longest time. And until they put him in a screen test against Robert Downey Jr. and he bombed.
Yeah.
And then Sony was like, well, we got Tom Holland. This is a guy we like. And they brought in Tom Holland to test him against Robert Downey Jr. And the two hit it off. And then Robert Downey Jr. gave his okay on it. And they all
was also funny for Tom Holland as well.
Yeah. So it's like, that's the whole point is like, there are protocols that happen here. There are things that happen here. Having him come in to say 3 lines of dialogue is not going to put him in a screen. You know, they're not going to have him run lines against Ray Fisher or Henry Cavill or anything like that.
But we don't
I'm
know
sorry,
that.
no,
Though.
this
We don't know
argument-
that.
you
No,
guys-
here's the thing. No, because
Thanks, Max.
No, this argument.
Thanks, Max, for
no,
what?
no,
What does that
this-
even mean?
this
think you don't
argument-
know that. I mean,
No,
come
this
on.
this
Because
argument-
it's true. I'm sorry, but
Oh my god!
It's not, but RJ, it's not, I guarantee you it is true. Like, it's just,
Oh
they
my
probably,
God. It's
they
not
probably-
because because you guys are going in circles. Number one, number two. So many actors we know today got their start having literally barely 0 experience. So again, like, you can't use that argument when so many actors who are A-list celebrities now have started off with very little acting experience. So we can't use that as an argument. I'm sorry, you can't. If a person is good, like you said, there's a process. If they have good chemistry and they have the look and they can act, or the people think like we can work with this, that doesn't matter. Your experience doesn't matter. Actors have literally gotten gigs having 0 experience, just being on the street, picked up off the street. It's happened. There's stories of actors that tell this. So I'm sorry, you cannot keep using
it doesn't,
this
but
argument.
when it comes to, oh my God, we're talking about IP properties here.
they've
are
cast
4
They've
They
cast
cast
unknown
nobody-
IP
they've
properties
cast-
before.
yeah,
That
they've
makes
done
no
it
sense.
before,
For
Jarbo.
me.
But they don't, but we're talking, oh my God, oh my fucking God.
We're talking
You guys-
about John Stewart Greenland that has a
Who
big presence in.
cares? You're acting
No,
like
no, but people
Dude,
do care. RJ, people
I
do care about John
understand,
Stewart
but
and Greenland.
they've cast
No.
unknowns in big IP roles before.
They've done
This
it,
isn't
yes.
some new
they've
thing.
But there's
literally done
usually,
it.
but there's a process for doing
There
it.
usually is a
And
process,
maybe
and
he
it's
went through
usually-
that process.
He
That's
did
what
not
I'm
go through that. I
saying.
guarantee you he did
God.
not go through that
I'll put
process.
money
Did you
into
not
it.
How
see
can you guarantee that though?
How
if
can
you
I
don't know?
guarantee that? Because here's the
When T.
thing
Carr
with that.
said himself, when T. Carr said himself that he was offered
Again,
an
he's
audition
had
by
conversations with a
Ray
ton
Fisher.
of people with a ton of interviews saying a lot of otherwise that contradicts what you're saying.
What? No, he
What are you
literally
talking
said it
about?
He literally said on Enosh's stream that he had Ray Fisher contact him for an audition. He had the audition tape, sent it to Zach and Ray, and they had a conversation.
Why
with
don't we
Zach
ask
and Ray,
Enosh right
and
now?
was hired.
Why don't we ask Enosh right now?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm just
ask Enosh what?
What?
Ask Enosh what
Why are
he
you
what he.
bringing Enosh into it?
Well, that's what Caden said. Caden's bringing up Wayne's appearance on Enosh's stream.
Yeah, why are you bringing Enosh into it? And actually, he's not
Just-
really bringing Enosh into it. He's just saying that on that specific stream is where Wayne said it.
Yes.
You're saying ask Enosh. You're
I'm
trying
saying
to bring
ask
Enosh.
Enosh.
into it.
You
maybe-
were saying ask Enosh. Oh my god.
Yeah, you can ask him because like he's probably asleep. It's 3 a.m. his time. He's got
Right.
church in the morning. You know.
That's Sunday. So it's not Sunday.
Oh, I don't even know what day it is anymore.
I'm like Jarbo.
Is it Friday or I have no idea. This week has
It's
been a blur.
technically Saturday for right now, but
well,
tomorrow's
he ended his stream early, I guess. I don't know. Well, good for him.
Well, my thing is, I love. First of all, can we just say I love that it's 2v2 right now because it's usually like everybody versus one person. So it's actually
it's 2v2, but it's kind of like we have the high ground and you guys are just yelling.
That's
that's kind of.
I mean, I'm always yelling, so
that is true. You are always yelling. But again, if there's like a casting there's a casting director, they have to go through the process of putting all this stuff into place, and then getting all of the appropriate contracts. Through SAG, there's clearly, I don't believe. Now, here's the thing with SAG, you don't have to be a SAG actor to do this stuff. You can get you have to work on a couple things in order to be able to get into SAG. So it's entirely possible that they could have worked a deal for this. I don't know, but I don't think they did, because this is something that wasn't going to theaters. This is something that was just going to streaming only. Zach was given money to finish it and to oversee the project to completion. And he went behind their back and he added in stuff. And this is basically the one thing they said no on that we know of. And so that's the whole point, is like, and also they can't even, they can't release the scene because they don't own the rights to it. Yeah. Even this image right here. I mean, it's here's the thing. Zach didn't release it. If you notice on Zach's Twitter, on Zach's Vero, this particular screenshot didn't come out. Wayne put it out himself today. Zach didn't do it.
Yeah, but this photo's been teased before by Zack Snyder. It was on his phone.
This photo was on his phone, and I'm pretty sure it's very similar to this. It's the exact same photo that was on his phone.
Yes. So who do you think gave it to Wayne?
Oh, yeah, no. I know who gave it to him, RJ. What we're talking about here is the distribution of what could be seen as intellectual property that doesn't belong to him.
Zach and Wayne cannot post the scene. If they post the scene, then they're in big trouble. The only person that can distribute the scene is Warner Brothers themselves.
Sure, but there's nothing wrong with them sharing a photo of what it looked like.
No, it's not.
Sure, no one's saying there's anything wrong with it, but it's like
people that are asking Zach and Wayne to release the scene are asking the wrong people. They should be asking Jeff Johns. Who people dare say his name now. He's the guy that you should ask to release the scene.
Okay, some fans aren't aware of that in that situation. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Some fans aren't going to know who to properly ask to get something like that released. Okay.
So Enosh here says, he was absolutely brought in with the intention of being Jon Stewart, not a stand-in. Think what you want. It doesn't matter anymore. Shake my head. Well, it's true. It doesn't matter anymore. But a lot of people out there today have been acting like it does. In fact, I believe even the Green Lantern scene was trending domestically today.
I'm just here to fight.
So that's kind of the whole point, though. It's like, it's not that it doesn't matter anymore. People out there want to make it matter, and they want to bully others in order to be able to get there. So the scene will come out.
Who's bullying who about release?
Are you fucking kidding me, dude? If you disagree, there was a guy today, by the way, who was like, again, on the Snyder fandom, trying to attack the legitimacy of my daughter, all while saying like, they're not the toxic ones, and calling out people that disagreed.
That's fucked up.
RJ, did you just like RJ? I love you, but like, did you really just ask that dumbass question?
Hold on. I asked a specific question. Who's bullying who to get this scene released?
Bro, are you kidding me?
I was just asking him what he saw.
You've literally seen people like attack us all the fucking time because
I understand that.
So why would you ask a stupid question like that? Like it's not going to happen.
It wasn't a stupid question. I was asking who is trying to
matter
bully
who?
People. Kinda, yeah. I'd like to know.
RJ, I'm just saying, like, you know that we literally get heat because we talk about the toxic side of fandom, and you're just like, who would bully Matt Jarbo? Are you kidding me? Matt Jarbo friggin' farts and everybody friggin'
you're not listening. You're not listening. No, I didn't ask who's bullying Matt Jarbo. I asked who is trying to bully the studio into releasing the scene? Because that was the implication I thought of what he said.
Oh my God.
Oh
Do
my
not, like,
God.
what is the intention of putting out a whole movement today on social media? If not to get the attention, and we can look at that. Actually, we'll do that here in a second, because look, here's the final thing I'll say on Wayne T. Carr. I wish him all the luck in the world. He's got a family. He's supporting. That's great. A working actor is hard to do in LA at this point too, to be fair. So good on him for that. I'm sorry. I don't believe Enosh with what he's saying, because nothing about that from any legal perspective makes any sense. It could have been with the promissory note, perhaps, of saying, hey, listen, you do this. If it works out and we get a Justice League 2, then I'll have you come in and actually audition to play Jon Stewart, because the studio would still have to sign the fuck off on it. So there's no way that he was.
Johns would have to sign off on it, because it's his character.
There's literally zero way that this would have been in any kind of official capacity. So the reason why there's no way that it's an official capacity means it's not an officially canonized scene, i.e. fan fiction. Anyway,
I disagree, but yeah,
we can agree to disagree on it, but
we will agree to disagree. Just agree to disagree, RJ. Fucking
that's fine. Yeah, I'm fine with disagree. It's all good.
We ain't gotta be that mad at each other about it.
I'm not mad.
Y'all need to drop the you too, young man. By young man, I mean Jarbo. The whole Max brainwashing RJ shit. That's not true. Come on, stop.
No, well, because Max always does that. You don't know.
This is one of those cases where you kind of don't know that.
So what is? Max
I have a better idea than not.
Well,
and I stand by my knowledge.
What does Max own that line now? So
he does it. Well, again, if you get into it with him over anything, and you go, here's what's going on, and you get like half a sentence in, and he'll be like, you don't know, and he cuts you off. He cuts you right at your core.
I don't know why you say it like that, but it's
you don't know. I just that's how I imagine Max in my head now. Oh my
God.
He is anyway. Wish him the best of luck too. Still not gonna unblock him on Twitter. Don't need that shit in my life.
Chat earlier, you will.
Yeah, you were just chat asking to come on.
I wanted you to send me the link to come on.
That was never gonna happen.
You could have still sent me the link to come on. You got the moderation powers on that channel.
Jarbo, the difference is I'm not a dick. I'm not gonna do that.
Oh,
I beg to differ.
RJ.
I did it a couple times, but like not anymore.
Yeah. You're like, I've done it a couple times, but not anymore. I'm not that much of a dick anymore.
Great blood sport. I love it. Okay, what's next? What are we yelling?
All right, hold on here. Rational here, because he wanted me to talk about this one. Guys, stop debating with Matt. No winning with him. Even if Zaslav said the Snyderverse was canon, Matt would still find a way to say that it's not. No, like if Zaslav, when he takes over power, if he comes out and he says, you know what, I like the Snyder cut. That's now canon. That's the direction we're going in. I would be as happy as anybody else. I keep saying this. Like, people don't believe me. I keep saying this. Like, I will eat crow. Like, throw your tomatoes at me. But for the last year, we've been looking at this, what's been said, what's been done, what's been shown to us. And it seems like a lot of people are really just out there trying to buy a whole bunch of magic fucking beans. You know, they want to sell the cow for magic beans and shit.
Listen, maybe one of those beans can grow beanstalk. You never know.
I think you'd have
miracles have happened.
Yeah, but like miracles have happened when things have already been filmed and just needed $70 million in order to be able to get to it. That's it. Other than
realism never got anybody anywhere.
Realism is dream big. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. Okay. H Pressure for $5, man. Thank you. Says Johnny Depp wanted to be a musician before Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, isn't he still a musician?
I love you, H-Bart. H-Bart, I love you.
I mean, he can do both, right? I think he did do both.
H-Bart,
I think he did.
You.
So, yeah, he's done all that. He's done all that stuff.
Music Man, I love you.
Okay. Told by the... Well, okay.
No,
I mean...
He's talking to somebody else.
Oh, okay. I'm just playing catch up with the chat.
Yeah, he's talking to somebody in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I had to nip that, but I saw where I was going. I was like,
no, I'm not gonna say anything. All right, hey, that's fine. I'm not gonna say anything. But what I will say, this is kind of funny here. So I took a look over here today. This is the I wanted to see how well the movement was doing in regards to the trending in the United States, right?
Ooh, I want to see this.
So if you go back 20 hours ago, all right, they kicked off when they kick off at because this is okay, here we go. 15 hours ago is when we see where Sword of the Snyderverse starts off, right? 15 hours ago hits number 3, then gets to number 1, then goes to number 3, then number 5, and then number 6, and then number 8, and then it's off. So for the last 10 hours, it only lasted for 5 hours. Well, I mean, this is like massive tweeting, right? We're talking like hundreds of thousands of tweets, and it can only muster. It did stay up there number 1 for about maybe an hour, and then it just died. And people were spamming they were like, oh, could we get, like, I saw one, it was like, can we get to like 500,000 tweets or whatnot? And it just had no impact. It was just dead at that point. So then you come up here and you look even at worldwide to get an idea, right? So go back here 15 hours. All right. They kicked off here, starts off at number 7. And then it jumped up to number 2. So, I mean, that's worldwide, right? And then again, it just starts to kind of dip, one little pickup here. And then it just massive plummet from number 4 to number 8. And then 10 hours ago, as we can see, it just gets yeeted. It's gone.
Also, another thing people have to realize is for a hashtag or little word or whatever to be considered trending, you can't be retweeting, you can't be putting in the comments. It has to be your own tweet.
Yeah.
So people that are retweeting things, like saying, retweet my tweet to make it go trending, that's not how to do it. Or comment under this post or tweet to make the thing trend, that's not how to do it. You have to make your own tweet to, have it trend. So,
yeah.
Fucking
that's that. Basically, it's just kind of like, look, the reason why I'm as critical as I am is because I do feel that there could potentially be an idea that would help things along. I do.
Oh, it's not because you're a bitter old man, would it?
No, I want to see more.
That's
like
part
I want.
Of it. That's part of it.
No, I'm not that old yet. I still got a week. I got a week until I turn 40. Okay, I got a week. So ha ha ha. No, it's not that I'm bitter either. As I look at this and I'm like, all right, you know what? This is where this fan base doesn't understand. Just doesn't understand. How things are meant to get done. They think that this. They think that the methods that they used for the last, for getting the Snyder Cut made is definitely. They want to try that again. It doesn't work. It's a different world. HBO Max is not a new coming service that needs an intellectual property to bolster it. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the whole point. I mentioned this earlier too. It's like everyone talks about this whole pocket universe shit. Get away from that mindset. All splinters of a multiverse eventually feed back into the river.
In what way?
What I mean, but they're not going to. It's a storytelling device, RJ. You're always still, even though there's a multiverse, there's still going to be a linear path through it.
Sure, there's going to be like a main continuity always. Yeah, this means there can't be side projects or side pocket stuff.
But the thing with that is, though, it exists. It's much easier through the written word than it is through the visual medium. In a comic book, it's easy to do because you have your artist and your inker and your writer, your letter. You have your team. They put it together. You have the writers. They're able to write it, convey it that way. We're talking about the literal investment of hundreds of millions of dollars. Where is that money going to come from? Who is going to be the ones financing it? And as always, in any kind of network endeavor, whatever is good, the cream rises to the top. Everything else gets fucking shit canned.
I will listen. If they want to hire me, I'll do OnlyFans to raise the funds.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
The first time I finally fumbled Matt.
Sure.
I fumbled him. Yay! That's the first time I've done that on stream.
There you go. We could get like
By the way,
all.
I just want to clarify real quick. I am not mad at Matt or Caden. This is a very spirited debate because I heavily
No,
disagree
but I'm
with
mad
both
at
of them.
you.
I'm not mad at either of them. It's all good.
I'm mad at
Just
you.
wanna
Fuck you,
clarify
ho. Fuck you, ho. Dumb bitch. I'm mad at you now.
Yeah, whatever.
Wait till we get to Cali, bro. I'm gonna fuck you.
Well, generally speaking, what I think is going to happen is I do think that Titans and I think the Doom Patrol are going to see their final season. I do think that this upcoming
Well, the
season is
CW stuff, and yeah, that's on the way out.
the CW stuff's on the way out. Yeah.
Oh wait,
Those
would you
shows
say
are going to
Titans?
HBO.
Oh, Titans. Is
Yeah,
Titans
Titans.
airing?
Titans is filming season 4, but it's like that show generally tends to get shit on more than anything else.
Well, they friggin' started off fine with the first season, and they just completely
Did they
shit.
though?
They
Did
just,
Well, that's
the
Greg
writing
Berlanti before you. That's
right,
what
and
happens.
the writing just was like, well, we're just gonna completely say fuck whatever we just showed you in last season, just redo everything, and it was just fucking bad.
They like what they did with the first season was really weird. They set up this whole Trigon thing, and then had
Andre?
the first 3 episodes of the second season be the finale of the Trigon stuff. It's really dumb.
Andre, whatever your last name is in the chat, it is not that hard to raise 20 million for a movie. You just have to have a nice set of tits.
Oh my god!
I don't think
can
you
do a
realize how
Ponzi
common a
scheme.
nice set of tits are. I mean,
Or you can do a Ponzi scheme like a.
Or you can just
certain
use Jarbo's nice set of tits.
when you push them together, they're okay. Yeah. James here says Matt and Enosh have a stunted pedestrian view of making movies. Don't know what the fuck that means, sir. My view of making movies is like make the best movie that's the most profitable.
I pictured Jarbo tucking his dick and balls.
Oh my
god! Would you fuck?
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. Goodbye, horses. Da-da-na-na-na-na. Goodbye, horses. It puts the lotion on the skin.
I can't.
Apparently, the stream is lagging. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not saying it on my end.
Yeah, that's what I was checking. People were saying it's
Yeah.
lagging.
I'm crying.
All
I blame Saggy. It's her fault.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I blame RJ because he's bringing this negative energy to
Eat
the
a
stream.
dick.
Right, yeah, you
Eat a
started
big
this.
fat
We
fucking
were having
dick.
a
Oh,
great.
Shut the
would
fuck
you like
up.
me to share
Oh,
the screenshot
shit.
I have?
Do it. Yeah, do it. What is it? Why
You
don't you
know
say it?
what?
Just put it up. Do it.
I don't want to.
It's out of context. It's not even
No,
accurate.
put it up there. No, put it up
Plus,
there.
it's
anyway.
fake and edited. Caden likes to make up.
Put it up
edits,
there
so-
anyway.
I did not edit that screenshot.
it up there.
Well, you kind of removed that out of context. So
Put it up. I want to see it. Put it
No,
up.
but the thing is the way you replied to it really quickly.
I'm not talking. Put it up. I want to see it. Who's listening to the stream and I can hear it in the background? RJ.
It's not me.
No, that was me.
Oh, you're trying
Yeah,
to
why are
see
you always blaming me right away?
Yeah, I don't know why. Okay. Oh, hold on here.
So this is what Saggy said a week ago. It says, then I'm gonna throw Jarvis' dick in your mouth, and RJ said,
That
make
was
it
not
hurt
what I
real
was
good.
replying to. It was something else. It was something else. That you said.
But it shows
That's
right there
not
that
what
you
I was
were.
replying to.
This-
I love how it
Yeah,
always.
all
It always.
the context is removed.
For the record, I feel bad because every time we're in our DM group, for some reason it always goes back to Jarbo's dick being involved in using as a weapon against RJ. It's like my default insult is okay, RJ, yeah, well, I'm gonna take Jarbo's dick and shove it down your fucking throat. I
So
don't
yeah,
know.
this is RJ saying he wants.
Why do you want to? Here's a better question. Why do you want to inflict bodily harm upon other human beings?
First of all, I said
With
I was
my
gonna-
dick.
Maybe I think it's maybe Jarbo's a compliment to you that it's big enough to hurt somebody. It's big enough to do bodily harm.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna like, I'm not gonna deny a compliment.
Oh no, I'm not
This
high.
is
I'm just giggly. I'm just
Evidence that Ian RJ likes to be.
That was a
I don't know
joke
what this is.
reply
Make it
to
hurt.
a physical threat that I received. Not that one, a different one though. But again, you removed all the context, so it doesn't really work.
Well, even if I put the other one, it really
You're
is
gonna make it
because
look
it seems
better,
like it's a part of Saggy's
It
plan
would
to hurt you.
make it
Says,
much
then I'm
better.
a throw. So it's like then you're not.
It would
having
be
your
much better if you got the full context. That's all I'm saying.
The full context does not make it better.
It
It
doesn't
makes
make
it a
better.
lot
It
better.
doesn't make it.
No, it makes it worse.
It does make it worse, RJ. I remember this comment.
This is what I'm gonna cancel my ticket.
No, don't cancel the ticket. I need to beat you up in person.
No.
I thought you guys weren't allowed to share a room together.
We're not. We made other arrangements. We're staying at a friend's house.
Yeah. So not to
Okay.
share the room together. We can share the same house.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone's gonna get beat, but not off. Okay.
RJ might. Not by me.
RJ says
What?
he's gonna get shredded doing
No.
DDP yoga.
No. RJ.
That's the goal. Yeah, I'm trying
by
to
the-
lose some weight. Hopefully.
By the way, guys, since you guys don't know what we're talking about, and there's a lot of you here, me, RJ.
Don't advertise it.
I'm advertising because I want to meet people. So,
Okay.
RJ and me, or RJ and I, let me speak proper English here. We're gonna be
Thank you.
in You're welcome. San Francisco, California, November 25th to the 28th.
Yeah, 25th to the 20th is the convention. Yeah.
Yeah. At the Fan Expo in San Francisco, and if you guys are in the area, I would love to meet all of you guys because I need to have as much human interaction outside of my goddamn house because the friggin' pandemic has made me a hermit, and I need to get out and see people and touch people and know that the real world still exists. So if you guys are in the area, come hang out with us. And if you want to go to the convention, buy tickets. If you don't want to go to the convention, I'm also going to try to set up a meetup with people, so we can meet up outside of the convention. So if you guys are in the area, come hang out with us. Except for Caden. Caden can stay home.
I've never been to San Francisco, so this
Wow.
should be really interesting.
I've never been to California.
You're not missing. I mean, San Francisco's okay.
Well, I've never been to California ever, so it's the first for me. So
I know.
Oh, wow.
We should go to like Disneyland or something.
Dude,
I don't
that's
wanna
you
go to
can't.
Disneyland,
Okay, hold on.
California.
Do you the geography of
Do you know-
California is a
Oh
bit
my
big.
God.
It's like
So-
it's like 8 hours away or something. I don't know.
I mean,
Hello.
kinda, yeah, depending on which route you take and how fast you drive.
Yeah.
Yo, RJ got shook. He's like, "Stop telling people we'll be in San Francisco. We're gonna get robbed."
He's like, people are gonna think I'm gay.
No.
Oh, is San Francisco a gay city?
Yeah, it's one of the most
You-
famous gay cities.
You don't know that San Francisco is literally like the rainbow capital of California?
Yeah, it's like the rainbow capital.
Oh, well,
It's
then
like-
I'll fit in perfectly there. I love that.
Yeah, you're gonna. I went to a strip club there a few years ago. It was kind of boring.
I'm gonna go to a gay club. We're totally
That-
hitting up a gay
So
club.
you just mean like a club?
Yes, a club. I want to go. I gotta go say hello to my gay homies. I want to be like, "Hey, your girl's here. What's up? Let's party."
They probably don't know you.
I don't go. Listen, y'all act like I've never been to San Francisco or California.
Don't you like have basic understanding of like geography and like culture? No, I mean like
Okay, so you see why I'm very thirsty and desperate to have like outside interaction, right?
But
So
you don't know what she knows, RJ.
Jarbo. Oh my god, this man can't. I said to him, like,
All right.
Don't-
Hold on. Mo Moon here for $2 says, reminder for Saggy, I'm yours, and Matt hates MGS. I don't hate MGS.
yes, you do. We literally talked about
MGS.
this, Jarbo.
I don't. No, I don't hate Metal Gear Solid.
Yes, you said you did. You said
No,
you-
I said Metal Gear Solid 3 was crap.
that's fucking ridiculous.
Oh my god, your takes tonight, bro. I can't with you. Like
These
Snake
are
Eater.
like
Snake Eater. Are you kidding me?
are you just like
Oh my
purposely
God,
trying to
bro.
throw out like the
He
worst hot
is.
takes
He
ever?
is
Eh,
today,
why not? I'm
dude.
tired. I have been up since like 7 a.m. and I'm
Jarbo,
exhausted.
Take it back. Take it the fuck back.
No, Metal Gear Solid 2 is good, except for no.
No.
Three
Are you
is the
kidding me?
best
You
one.
said hold on. Are you telling me you think Sons of Liberty is better than Snake Eater?
I'm telling. Yeah. Oh God, yes. What are
my
you talking
God,
about?
Solid Snake was
The only thing,
brilliant.
the only, I mean, look, the Raiden shit and Sons of Liberty was pretty bad, but like the first
the
act is
Raiden
pretty.
shits most of the game though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's like, but what was really good was really good, and then
Oh
Snake
my-
Eater is just, Snake Eater is like, imagine you're like about ready to like dine on like the sweetest piece of ass, right? And you're all excited, you take it out for dinner, you know, you get it home, you get it all ready. You're like, I'm just gonna analingus the shit out of that. and then like you take it, but you don't. But as you get ready to like munch on that butthole, you realize that you took him to a Mexican food restaurant, and like what comes out is going to be so bad.
Jarbo, you are
So
like
tired.
you
so
have to
tired.
be, bro, because there's no way you could really sit there with a serious face and say Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater was trash.
It was.
Like,
It was.
it
I mean, when I
wasn't,
played
what
it was trash. I
You
didn't
know
play
what?
the
You know what? You know what?
I didn't
my
play the remastered
God.
though. Whatever had the new fucking the
Oh,
You know what,
fixed
Jarbo?
camera.
Why don't you come down to San Francisco? We'll book a panel room. We can have a debate. What was better, Metal Gear Solid 2 or Metal Gear Solid 3?
That would
There we go.
require me to then spend time playing both games again, and I don't really feel like doing that. Like,
Oh my
if you want to, like,
Just do what most YouTubers do when they try and commentate
I
on
can't
games.
believe
Just
he
watch a
was
playthrough and act like
saying
you know everything.
yes,
I'll forgive
okay.
you for everything else, but I can't forgive you for that one. Oh my God, I'm mortified. I can't believe he's saying this with a straight face. Snake Eater was, wow, bro. I can't.
H bar's here for $2. Says Saggy, we need to talk about MGS lore.
Oh my God, facts! Like, oh my God, H Boss, I can't right now. Like, I'm so like, it wasn't even about Solid Snake. It was about Big Boss, bro, and how he became Big Boss. It was literally a prequel to like literally the first Metal Gear game ever made. I can't with you, Jarbo. How could you? Metal Gear Snake Eater was literally the first story of the series, and you're saying it was trash. I can't believe you said that with a straight fucking face.
Look, here's the thing. Hideo
Oh
Kojima
my God,
has his head shoved so far up his pee hole like most of the time.
My
Look at Death Stranding. Look at
Look
it. Just he's like he gets
He's
high
an
on his.
artist. He wants to make art.
But not all pieces of art. Like, look, there's got to be a time when you can look at art subjectively and go, that maybe wasn't the best. All right. And I think so many people have dined at the buffet of Hideo Kojima's farts that they're just like, he can do no wrong. It's so good. Right. And then you're like, yeah, but then you go Metal Gear Solid 3 and they're like, best ever. And then like, but the camera, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's like
literally was a prequel, like the first of the story of the lore.
That has nothing to do with, I'm talking gameplay and like,
the
even
gameplay was fine. It was
Metal Gear Solid, like the first one. It's like, dude, you get fucking like what, like 2 hours of Otacon anime shit? It's like, fuck off, man. I have shit to do.
The gameplay was just the same as the first of the Metal Gear Solid 2, basically. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Metal Gear Solid. I was not talking about Sons of Liberty. I was talking about the original Metal Gear Solid. Fucking hell. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying it's like it's overrated in many instances, and a lot of it has to do with the way that Hideo Kojima tells his stories, which is so pants on head. It's stupid.
But no,
sometimes.
Death Stranding was a great story. The game was shit.
How does it feel to have some amazing hot takes tonight?
I don't. These are takes I have all the fucking time. I say this shit on Twitter too.
I want to beat you now. I want to beat you up. Like I really want to hit you.
It's no, you don't. You don't.
No, I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna take my ticket that I bought for San Francisco, and I'm gonna buy it to go to where you are, and I'm gonna hit you.
Wait, you're just gonna like magically fly to Seattle, but it's a ways away from Frisco. I'm just saying.
I need to.
You're gonna have to like hitchhike your way down there. But there's the most active amount of serial killers in Washington. So I
want you to look in my eyes. I want you to look directly into my soul and tell me that shit to my face.
But you're like so tiny. I'd be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know. That's why fighting her is not gonna be fun because I can just like put my head on her.
I'll just take out your knee. I'll just take out your knee. You'll be on the floor. Shut your face.
But he just puts his hand on your forehead and you're just gonna start swinging it. Like, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get you.
Get me.
You know what's funny? Jarbo sits here and talks about, I bet you he loved that Metal Gear game with Raiden. That other one that wasn't even really
Rising.
Yeah.
Great. It's a great hack and slash game.
It is a good hack and slash game. I'll give it that. But yeah, I bet you you think that's better than friggin'. I'm so mad tonight, y'all. Y'all made me triggered so bad tonight.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Holy shit, man. He really
it's one of the rare times I can relate to you being angry.
Right? Like, holy shit, Pat. Like, oh my God, bro. That last one, like I could take everything else, but the last take you had about Solid Snake Eater, I can't handle this.
Look, Metal Gear Solid 5 is an amazing gameplay experience, but the story is stupid as shit.
Oh, yo, I'm all right. I'm done. I'm done.
Right?
Let's not do it.
I mean, can you come up with a decent argument for why it's not stupid as shit? It's stupid as shit. It's a
How's it
gigantic
stupid as
fucking
shit?
there's a stupid fucking flaming blue whale in the sky in the beginning of that fucking game.
Oh
It
my
is-
god. Do you understand that
It's a
the entire Metal
metaphor.
Gear, the entire Metal Gear series was a shit ton of metaphors, like, and it was first of all unrealistic. Look at the freaking characters in the game. You fucking Psycho Mantis.
Okay.
Come on
So
now.
unrealistic is now okay. So you can't base anything in a logistical setting. You can have fantastical elements provided they're grounded enough to work. So having Psycho Mantis is one thing. Or like Revolver Ocelot or whatever, and then but a gigantic flaming blue fucking whale in the goddamn sky. That's a metaphor, you guys. That's what for global warming because it's so fucking big.
Bro, like, what do you mean Revolver Ocelot basically turned into Liquid Snake because he friggin' attached Liquid Snake's arm to his friggin' decapitated one with Cyber? I can't. When the friggin' cyborg ninja cut off Ocelot's arm and then Ocelot replaced it with Liquid Snake's friggin' arm, his friggin' arm took over friggin' Ocelot. And that's just like, oh, the blue whale in the sky though. But a friggin' arm can take possession of a human being and be that I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit him.
But do you not understand what you're saying right there? You're just like, you care about that blue whale, but here's this arm that got taken off and now is going to be like take over control of somebody else because that's realistic.
I'm gonna hit you.
Let me just ask you this, Matt. When it comes to stealth gameplay, are you a pro or are you a DSP? When it comes to Metal Gear Solid gameplay?
I am definitely a stealth gamer. I'm not a DSP on that one. I take my time.
Have you ever watched DSP's playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 3?
No, because I just know about
fucking hilarious.
I'm sure it is.
Bad.
He gets so mad about everything. No, I know about the Sons of Kojima, like that group that went after him and whatnot.
Yes, the Sons of Kojima. Yes.
Yeah. No. There's a lot of like I just don't care about. I've played some of the games. I've never really got into them. I think the stories are kind of dumb. They're fun. They have good gameplay elements, but again, it's just like this. Any kind of like criticism of like anything Hideo Kojima does is met with this kind of craziness. It's kind of like going on Twitter and going like, you know what, Elden Ring is just all right. Yeah. And then I love Elden Ring. I'm not going to beat the piss out of a wall 100 times in order to get to a secret fucking room.
Listen.
By the way, I know it's there.
I know you've been looking for a new Boulder Talk radio guest you can interview. Try reaching out to Darkside Phil. Let's see what happens.
He has me blocked on Twitter.
Damn it.
Yeah. But he only lives like 30 minutes from me.
Damn.
He lives north of me by a little bit, yeah.
H-Box, no, because in Metal Gear Solid 5, like Liquid Snake 100% took over Ocelot's body. That's why he was using Liquid Snake's fighting style at the end for the main battle. Shut your friggin' mouth, because you don't even know the lore, you little bitch ass. I'm so mad at you, Jarbo. If you can see me on the cam, I'm literally doing the black girl head wad and the finger thing. Yeah, go to sleep, Grandpa. I'm so mad at you.
It's so late. Oh my god.
I'm literally.
What are you talking about?
I'm literally in the
Ocelots, revolvers. What's going on?
I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna fucking hit him. I'm gonna smack the
You know what? Despite him, why don't you like cosplay as Solid Snake or something?
No, cosplay is quiet, Saggy. That's what I want you to quiet. Cosplay.
You're quiet. Bitch. You're a bitch.
There you go. That's what you got to cosplay as quiet. There you have it.
Yeah, she's gonna cosplay as Raven and then bring Sasha to recreate her profile picture.
I'm not going to bring the fucking puppet to California.
Bring the puppet, God.
I'm not walking around.
Everybody wants you to bring the puppet.
Well, I'm not. I don't care what everybody wants.
I can honestly people tell me to bring the puppet too. Don't bring the puppet.
Literally, only the person that wants her to bring the puppet is you, RJ.
No, there's other people who want her to bring the puppet too.
RJ, have you been to a convention?
Throw in the ocean.
Yeah, I've gone to like several.
Okay, and you do realize when you're at a convention, you're doing a lot of fucking walking. I'm not walking around with a costume on and a freaking puppet on my hand the entire convention. I can barely do it when I'm sitting fucking down and doing it on my camera. Like, so no, I'm not bringing the guy.
Just attach the puppet to like your belt or something.
I'm gonna hit him. Y'all getting hit today. You and Jarbo both getting both fucking hands. Back and forth. I can't. Y'all kill me.
Are you gonna grow your nails out too?
Okay, thanks for having me, y'all.
Or are you gonna get press-ons?
Jarbo.
What?
What the fuck?
Jarbo.
What? Acrylic. Sorry, that's the terminology, right? Acrylic? What? People get acrylic nails and shit.
Okay,
I never
good night,
understand
everybody.
it,
Thanks for
right?
having me.
I always feel it's like, how do you type or do anything? Like open a door?
Isn't it Oscar Isaac playing Solid Snake?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm
Thomas
going.
here asks, can you give an example of which part of MSJ? The very beginning.
Oh my
It was
God.
so bad I quit playing the game. I'm not even. I'm not,
He didn't even get. Oh my. Oh my. Jesus help me, please. Lord have mercy, please help me. Jarbo, you didn't finish the first fucking part of the game. Like you
no,
didn't.
the camera was so bad I didn't finish it.
Bruh.
So it was so bad.
You didn't even call it trash. You're killing me, bro. I fucking can't. I fucking can't.
This is like when that reviewer for Entertainment Weekly, when they reviewed The Witcher.
No.
they stopped after 2 episodes, said it was
I
shit.
never reviewed the game. I never reviewed it. All right. I just fucking talk shit about it and then it's like whatever. But like I didn't review it in a magazine
I review
and then do it
but
again.
It's the same
I did-
principle, though, man. It's the
Did
same
you
principle.
by the way, did you guys know that like Your Movie Sucks Adam apparently like reviews movies without finishing them?
Yeah, I saw that. It's like a big controversy online the other day. I was shocked by that.
Yeah. Ricky here asking, does Jarbo like DMC? No.
This is
Wait,
literally
I'll
my-
and I don't like
any
and
other
I,
Devil May Cry
I
games?
don't like Bayonetta either. Yeah, I don't like
What
those kind of
the
games.
fuck is wrong with you?
I don't like those kind of names. I just don't like those kind of games. I think they're just. I think here's the thing with those kind of games. It's the fucking over the top anime shit. I fucking can't stand it. It's like
oh my,
I can't
Jesus
stand it.
Christ.
It's a
It's
it's.
called
I know it's
having
dude, but hold
fun.
on, Sagi, breathe. If yes, we've established that I'm not a big fan of Japanese games. I don't like JRPGs. And a lot of that kind of stuff they're button smashers, and I don't really care for the aesthetic style of them. You know what I mean? So I don't play a lot of Japanese games because they're not for me. I also don't engage with them. I mean, I'm okay. I mean, I am playing fucking Elden Ring right now, and and that is a Japanese game, but it's very Western influence with George R.R. Martin. Wait, oh my God, she's on camera.
She's that
I know.
angry.
Bro, I can't. This dude straight up said, this game is trash, but I didn't even get past the beginning of the game. Like, bro, I'm going to fucking hit you.
Then send me a copy of number
Bro,
3.
Get
Then,
through
if you want me to
the
play it.
first part. Oh my God. Lord Jesus, please put your hand. Lord, give me the strength. Give me the strength, Lord.
Okay, Tyler fucking Perry. Jesus Christ, calm down a little bit.
That's basically my thoughts right here.
My Lord, good Lord.
Oh, great. You guys are gonna summon the pastor, aren't you?
Oh,
Wow.
Jarbo!
What are you doing?
oh.
I don't hate. Jim Mitchell says Matt as Joseph hates the Japanese Joestar. I don't hate the Japanese.
You act like you hate the Japanese sometimes, man.
No, I don't hate the Japanese. I very much like their culture. I just don't like their games. Their movies are fucking amazing. Their Baby Metal, dude, is fuck yeah, right? Battle Royale, excellent shit. Both the book, the manga, the movie. That's 3 things. You know. I'm pretty sure I can't. Saggy is acting like she's muted, but she's not. She can talk. She's just being dumb.
Are you trying? Like,
I'm trying not to interrupt, but you're triggering me. I can't. I just want everyone to see my reaction because I'm literally
listen. At this point, God has abandoned.
God has abandoned Jarbo a long time ago. There is no God anymore. I am under the impression that there is no Lord. The Lord.
So speaking of God abandoning things, Zack Snyder tweeted this out a little bit ago.
What the fuck, man? What kind of transition was that?
Oh my God.
Actually, I like this though. I did. He put this out today. I wanted to see if he was tweeting at all about anything going on today, and he didn't over here. Vero, he posted a couple things, but here he says this means something, and this is shared out by also Debbie, I believe. So it says a Justice League, the entire world became.
No, the entire world became a Justice League.
Oh, right. There we go. That makes sense. That makes more sense. I read that wrong.
Hallelujah.
And then also, but like 11/17 and then 3/18, right? So it's like they're even acknowledging Justice League. You know why? Canon.
Or it's the date the original movie was released.
Justice League.
Yes, I know, but I mean,
Justice League. See, right? Canon.
It's a day.
The
after my
takeaway
birthday.
from this is not Justice League. It's, hey, AFSP is what it's all about. Supporting suicide prevention.
Yeah, you know what?
Supporting
it's
others.
all about.
Anti-bullying.
The only time it's mentioned is it's when it's the week of the anniversary. So that's when it's only brought up. So it's never brought up ever before.
Such negativity, my goodness.
This whole stream is
maybe if the
disgusting.
fandom would actually
I'm so
bring it up
mad.
every time they bring up the Snyderverse, then maybe.
Today's a
Then
day of
maybe-
celebration. We can complain about the fandom
Well, not
another
anymore.
day.
It's no longer November. March 18th. So it's March 19th.
It's March 18th somewhere in the world.
No,
Sure.
it's not. Nowhere. It's
Sure.
anymore.
All right. Let's get to some super chats here because I've kind of ignored a couple of them. Rationally for $2 says, play the video I sent you, just bits of it. I don't want to get a copyright strike. But I will on an After Dark. We'll check it out again on an After Dark thing.
After dark.
Because I got to get to bed too. I literally have
Yeah,
to be
you
up at
need to
7
get to
a.m.
bed to make because you must have been exhausted this whole night because I don't know. what's going on.
I know I was I have to go to Seattle in the morning. So and then H Bar's here for $5, buddy. Says Death Stranding is so good and the story of snakes and MGS is epic.
Thank you, H bar. See me and H bar. Thank you.
Now, H Bar, look, I'm not saying that I'm just saying that Hideo Kojima could maybe have someone there to tell them, hey, rein it in a little bit. But that's just me.
Bro, how are you the movie talk guy? But you don't understand. Hideo Kojima's games are basically like film, like movies. Like all of his
That
games.
doesn't.
Movies,
not all
bro.
movies are good, Saggy.
But all of the Metal Gear series stories is good. So I don't know what you're smoking.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies with good stories that still drag on for way too long.
Whatever,
All right.
bitch,
I mean,
whatever,
did you
whatever.
not see the Snyder Cut?
Wow.
Good movie. A little bit too long.
Are you gonna rewatch it today, Jarbo, to celebrate?
I'm
No,
not
I watched.
spending 4
I
hours
watched.
today.
I watched Adam Project. That's what I watched.
Oh yeah. Did you like
that was good. That was really good.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Let's see here. H Price for $2 says Metal Gear Solid 5 is the Snyder Cut of gaming. No, Metal Gear Solid 5 would be the Snyder Cut of gaming if we actually got the solid ending to that fucking game. But that's
Oh my
Konami.
I think that's what he means.
God,
That's
bro.
Konami. That's Konami.
All right.
They did cut out
okay.
some stuff from that
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
H Bars for $5 more. Thanks, money. Says Saggy Revolver faked that with psychological therapy to fool the Patriots.
I already answered that because I saw
All
it
right.
before you read it.
Okay, thank you. And then he also another for H Bars. You can tell he gets riled up, starts throwing down supers. Thank you. Big Boss said in Metal Gear Solid 4 he faked it, but had convinced even himself that he was liquid. I mean,
I believe it was
dude-
heavily implied that was also bullshit.
But hold on, he faked it, but then he convinced himself that he still was liquid. I mean, that's pretty good.
it was a weird psychological. No, I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about, but it was still
right.
kind of low key implied that liquid
It's very hard for a man to fake it because stuff is supposed to come out
Can we just crack open a beer?
First-
liquid.
No, it's not a beer, you weirdo. It's a fucking energy drink.
It's fucking almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and
Yeah,
you're
why
like,
you
let me just,
drinking an energy drink?
yeah, let
don't-
me just
I don't-
crack open a Red Bull.
I don't drink it for the energy. I drink it for the taste. They don't actually give me energy. It's an amp energy drink. It barely does shit for me.
Amp, how many milligrams of caffeine are in that shit?
Let me look. Give me a second. It's you said milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah, an amp.
Where the hell is the caffeine? I can't find it on the can. Go Judo it.
Juju. Oh, you've been watching. Okay. There's only 74 milligrams. That ain't shit.
Yeah, that ain't shit. That's what I'm
That
saying.
ain't shit.
And
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
by the way, the new show based off of Big Mouth, Human Resources dropped last night.
Oh,
It's
God.
alright. It's alright.
Oh.
I've been watching season 3. I've been catching up on. I'm apparently behind on Big Mouth. I've been watching season 3, and it's good. I like
Don't
Big
watch-
Mouth quite a bit.
Don't watch Human Resources yet, then, because it does show some spoilers. For
Yeah. I'm going to go through seasons 4 and 5 of Big Mouth before I dive over
Or
into.
how about instead of watching Big Mouth, watch an actual good cartoon?
Big Mouth is a good cartoon, RJ. I'm sorry you still haven't gone through puberty yet, but the rest of us have.
God damn.
Wow.
God
it's a reach,
damn.
I'm going through changes.
I cannot stand Big Mouth. Man, that animation style is disgusting.
It's so fucking
It's because
funny
you.
though,
It's
dude.
because you can't relate.
I can relate. I just think it's stupid.
You know what I would love? I would love it if there was this like a sexual education cartoon that was just done with Pokemon. I think so many people out there would learn what a clitoris is.
How could wait? First of all, you threw me all the fuck off. What?
Okay, like I mean, because people generally tend to like learn things from some things they're already into, right? So if RJ is like Big Mouth, I don't like the animation style, which is fine, but it talks a lot about like, like sexual expression and orientation and things like that. But what if you take that same concept and you put it into like a Pokemon show, right? So like the Pokemon are going to teach you about masturbation, like Onyx is all like, I'm hard like a dick.
Can we not?
Onyx.
Can we not?
And then Blastoise is a metaphor for squirting. Not Squirtle because they're really tiny, but we're talking like Blastoise is just right.
Why?
And hold on. And then Bulbasaur with those tentacles, it's hentai.
All right. They
all right,
already
next super
have
chat.
that.
RJ, do you know who Yin Yang is?
RJ, wait, hold on. Wait, we got to give RJ the test. RJ,
Yeah.
do you know this song? Hey, mama, let me whisper in your ear. You know that song?
I have no clue what's going on.
Oh my
Hello,
God.
mama, let me whisper in your ear. Someone tell me something like you like to hear.
Wait, you see my Wait, you see my Wait, you see my
See, RJ and Matt Jarrell are all uncultured.
They are very uncultured. They're uncultured swines. I can't believe you don't know the Whisper song. Both of you are a disappointment tonight. I don't know why I came on the stream. Why did I choose tonight?
I am an adult.
Oh, I am an adult too. You're only a few years older than me.
I'm also tired. My brain's not operating.
Yeah,
at
I got to get to
pace
bed
now.
here pretty soon. Like that's the thing. I'm fucking exhausted. So all right, a couple more super chats, and then people want me to react to shit. I'm not gonna react to anything tonight. I'm sorry, guys. We'll save it for later. Cylon here does say, "Wow, I actually agree with RJ for once. That's a tall order, sir."
That is a
Thank
big.
you.
That is actually. Don't thank him. That's a very rare occurrence. That is not going to happen again.
You ever know? I always try to be optimistic instead of pessimistic.
Don't bring your logic.
All right, fine. If Hunter, send me link it to me on Twitter if it's only a minute.
Oh, I know what he's talking about. He showed it to me too, and I said,
I can last a minute.
Yes, we know you can.
Someone love that.
Fucking exhausted, guys. I'm so
I-
sorry. Like I just want to go to bed. Okay.
I am
All right,
too,
let me
but-
get the rest of this here. Okay. Jess here for $5, and thank you. Says anime and games that are over the top is what makes it memorable. See, maybe for you, not for me. Like
I mean, most people remember the over the top stuff. I mean, that's kind of like
no,
what
I
sticks
don't.
out about it.
I for me, I find it to be too much of a spectacle. I don't care. It's kind of like
Don't you like Michael Bay movies though? I mean, come on.
I do, but the spectacle, like it's not every single moment it's in your face. That's like a Joel Silver film. But no, Michael Bay can like those movies aren't even that good. Some are better than others. But really, they're not that great. Like, I mean, Ambulance looks like it's going to be kind of a return to like cheaper film, making kind of like Pain and Gain. Yeah, I like it when Michael Bay is able to like really do it in like a smaller way. Like when the Transformers movies, I think broke him. If you want my honest opinion, I think the Transformer movies really delineated his talent because he just kind of stopped caring. So the smaller films I think are better for him in the long run. But over the top doesn't always. I prefer maybe a more subtle approach to stuff, But then again, like the boss battles and Elden Ring are a lot of fun because they're kind of crazy. So, and then Jess here says, actually, Matt, there is a French cartoon series that talks about sex with furries. What is that? Miraculous?
Oh, Miraculous Ladybug.
God,
and Cat Noir.
goddamn. That fucking show, dude. My
Isn't
kid
that-
likes
yeah,
my
that's
kid likes that show. I tried watching
My
it and I'm like, I just want to die.
10 years ago, my first sister, found the show, and we were obsessed with the thing.
It's time to de-evilize. What?
Oh my fucking god!
Lucky Charm, go. Wait, what?
Wait, what is
Yeah.
the show?
Have
What
you ever
is that
seen
show?
Miraculous? It's
I've heard of it. It's like a ladybug
yeah,
superhero girl, right?
Miraculous. Yeah, it's like basically, it's they gender swapped Spider-Man and Catwoman. So
Yeah,
Miraculous has like the powers of Spider-Man, but she as a ladybug.
Yeah, and like there's like a fox character. There's a moth character.
Yeah,
It's
I am
weird.
Hawk Moth.
And I turn people bad.
Basically, he's Rita Repulsa, is what he is. He's Rita Repulsa. If you go back and look at the original Power Ranger show, it's just like Rita's all like,
Repulsa
I'm gonna.
plus,
It's so bad.
It's Rita Repulsa plus the evil guy in Jungle Fury, with the when they give the ninjas those amulets. It's basically
Yeah, like every
Power
episode, somebody
Rangers.
gets an amulet, and then they have to go
Yeah.
and break the amulet.
Yeah,
You know, so that's really about it. It's all like break the amulet, do
it's
this.
basically
What?
Power Rangers and Spider-Man and Catwoman, all that stuff combined into like one little kid show.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible, man.
It's really funny too.
Okay, so we got the all right, H bar, so put this up here. The worst and longest death scene ever. All right.
Oh, I've seen
And that is how we saw the birth of Ricky Berwick.
Oh.
But the worst death we've seen ever is Talia al Ghul scene in The Dark Knight Rises.
That was pretty bad, yeah.
Too, yeah.
That was pretty terrible. Pretty terrible, guys.
I like how I say that, and then Anthony Chisholm says it like right after.
Yeah, Talia Ghul was worth it. Was way worse. Oh, Miraculous is French Sailor Moon. No, it's French
worse.
Power Rangers.
It's French Power Rangers plus kid writing. It's basically if a kid wrote a Power Rangers series, but for French people.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much that one there. All right, let me double check the supers here. All right, we are pretty good. We're caught up on that one. It is almost 1 a.m. my time. I gotta get to bed. But you guys have yourself a great night. Thank you all for coming on in. Thank you for Caden, Saggy, and RJ to come on in and have a bit of fun.
Yeah, we kind of yelled at each other, but we had some fun. It's all
Yep.
good. It's all good fun. It's all
And we-
spirited debates.
We
But
don't
I
have
will
to have this
forever
one
hate RJ
again
now.
until
The next
next
time.
year. Yeah,
What are they going to release next year? What's the thing that they'll release next year? For the
I don't
event?
fucking know.
That'll start controversy.
Well, I
Is it
think
like-
Rebel Moon Part 1 will be out by then. So
Okay.
Probably.
Oh, you know what would have been better than Ray Fisher being in Rebel Moon? Wayne T. Carr.
he might show up. He might
He
show
might.
up. He might. He should. He should.
I mean, he should. You know?
It would definitely I think a lot more people will end up seeing Rebel Moon than seeing Snyder. So Snyderverse stuff. So But yeah, anyway, fun night. All right, everybody, have yourself a great night. Thank you again, and peace out.